Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to STARJUMP Shipyard. Nice to see you all. It is our Wednesday show, the main show. Hopefully, you all had a great day. I'm here with Artorius, my show producer, and now occasional on-video host, co-host. How you doing, Art? How's your week been?
Suffer of the beans.
Oh,
Co-sufferer of the beans.
yes, indeed. There will be some beans tonight. I can promise you all that. Hopefully everyone had a great week. I did a short, brief stream yesterday, as you all know. Wanted to react to some of the sort of immediate leaks that came out. We will be covering some of that stuff again. Hopefully that is all right. The bot is running tonight. If you have questions, please post your questions. Try to give your question some context, because remember, we may talk about something and then you ask the question, but we may not get to your question until an hour later. So make sure you kind of put a little bit of context in your question. That'd be great. So we will do questions. We're going to be talking about the Banu Merchantman tonight. We're going to be talking about 4.7.2. We're going to be talking about 4.8 and the leaks therein. So a lot to talk about, already have some donations coming in though, which is great. And I think we'll go ahead and cover some St. Jude stuff first, because why not? So let's go ahead and jump over. STARJUMP is, of course, doing the St. Jude Play Live campaign for April and May. As you know, our good buddy GearCon has offered up a ton of ships to give away through various raffles using our Tiltify link. Okay, so if you go to the STARJUMP St. Jude Tiltify link, which I'll put right in the chat, exclamation St. Jude, that link will pop up. If you use that Tiltify link or scan the QR code on your screen, you can see the items there currently running. There is also a Perseus, I believe, up that you can also do that Ender's running. But for a $30 donation, you can get in on that Merchantman giveaway. Again, we're giving that away tonight. Okay, tonight. By the way, we've had some donations come in already. Elk Zombie with a $60 donation, Luke with a $130 donation, Zane with a $30 donation, and 100 from Duma. Appreciate that, everyone. Appreciate your generosity. That $30 donation to the Merchantman raffle through our Tiltify link will get you a ticket for that. We're drawing that live tonight on stream, okay? So someone tonight is walking away with a Banu Merchantman. Your odds are pretty good. I'll look up how many tickets have been sold for it here shortly. But if I had to guess, it's probably your chances are around 1 in 50 of winning. So not too bad at all. $35 donation, you can get in on the Hammerhead raffle, which will be next Wednesday. And then on that same Wednesday, April 29th, for a $60 donation to the Tiltify link, you will be able to get a Polaris ticket. Super cool. Polaris, still one of my favorite ships, actually. It's sexy. What else can I say? So obviously the 29th will be a big time period. Now, we also have level up campaigns starting at the end of this week. There could be some more raffles happening for level up. Don't want to confirm anything yet. There's bubblings happening, so stay tuned for that. Obviously, there is the big raffle, as you all see there, a $100 donation to the St. Jude STARJUMP Tiltify link. You can get a Masters of Industry pack. Okay, Masters of Industry pack does contain every ship you see there. The Consolidated Outland Pioneer, yes, the Pioneer, hull limited ship. The RSI Arastra, the Misk Hull B, the Aegis Reclaimer, the Argo Mole, the Drake Vulture, the Drake Golem, and of course the Crusader C2 Hercules. Okay, so pretty massive giveaway. Whoever wins that Masters of Industry raffle will get all of those ships. Okay, all of those ships. Again, all the ships have been generously provided by our good buddy GearCon. Everyone give GearCon an 07. We do appreciate how much he has provided from the raffle standpoint for St. Jude this year. Absolutely incredible work by him. Winners will be contacted within 5 days of drawing via email. You'll then have 7 days from the time the notification email was sent to claim your prize. Failure to do so in that time window can result in a new drawing and a new winner. Okay, we got to keep it rolling, right? We got to keep it rolling. In addition to that, we'll flip this back up again. We have the Merchantman raffle drawing tonight, though. Okay, so if a Merchantman is one of those ships you've always had in the bucket list, tonight could be the night. This could be the night you walk away with it. Brian Havoc with a $90 donation towards the Merchant Man. Brian Havoc, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Everyone, we're doing really good on channel growth too. I just want to point that out. We are 8,329 followers on Twitch, which is incredible. And on YouTube, I just want to say we are at 16,940 something subscribers. Get about 60 more and we'll finally tick up to 17,000 subscribers. I thought it would never happen because the YouTube algorithm sometimes likes to punish as much as it likes to praise. So yeah, I do appreciate both communities, both the Twitch and the YouTube community, for the support, the continued growth. It is nice to see both channels ticking along. Okay, so thank you very, very much. Thank you for your donations. Again, we've already had a lot of donations come in. Ohio Medic, $30 donation towards the Merchant Man. Appreciate you, buddy. Again, we already owe you some beans tonight, everybody, and you best believe we're going to do it. We're going to do some double barrels, some double barrel beans tonight. Don't worry, we're going to have a lot of fun on that.
I didn't sign up for double barrels.
You absolutely, you're on the channel, so you signed up. Tibbles with a $90 donation towards the Merchant Man. Thank you very much, Tibbles. Also, everyone, we do have a giveaway tonight. I'm going to be giving away another high sec bundle. How do you do that? Well, it's very easy. If you are over on, what do you call it? The thing, YouTube. There's a link pinned to the bottom of chat, bottom or top of chat. Go to that link. It's my new player guide video. Tell your friends, by the way, use my referral link. I really appreciate it. We're climbing the referral ladder. We got the Raptor unlocked. But leave a comment on that video, on that new player guide video. Leave a comment, could be a single word, whatever. We're going to pull a random winner from that. And if you're over on Twitch, you know what to do. It's exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket space max. You can go ahead and enter that now because I just started it. Okay, so there you go. Get in on that. We'll be doing that drawing tonight as well. $30 donation from Anonymous. Thank you very much towards the Merchant Man. I think it's going to be a popular ship. We're going to deep dive the Merchant Man a little bit tonight. We got some other stuff to talk about though. So the first half of the show, we are going to talk about a few things. Okay, we're going to talk about patch 4.7.2. We're going to talk about 4.8 and all the leaks that have been sort of coming out about DefenseCon, Invictus launch week, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to kind of cover all that. Then that'll be like the first half of the show. Then we're going to switch over to Merchant Man discussion. Okay, as we talk about the Merchant Man, we'll deep dive that leading up to the Merchant Man drawing. Okay, obviously there's a fan favorite ship. I know a lot of people are excited about it. I got a lot of messages about it. Some people asked me, "Are we really giving away a Merchant Man tonight?" And I said, yes, we really are. We really are. So again, nice to see everyone in chat. I do appreciate the support. Thank you for the any questions and stuff you have. Just make sure you do question in bracket or put question somehow so that the bot picks it up. Shout out to Piggles for getting the bot running. Do appreciate
With context.
that. Yes.
With context.
With context. Please, with context helps, by the way. Rager, thanks for the hydrate. Thank you very much. I'm actually going to hydrate myself right now with a Coke Zero. Probably not the best way to go, but I'm doing it. Next thing I wanted to talk about before we get into the main topic. It has been long talked about, but there's finally some, I would say, aggressive movement forward on a STARJUMP event. Call it maybe a bar citizen, but I think that would maybe be selling it short. I want to make it something a little bit more weighty than a bar citizen. Pops in space in chat. Pops, hope you're doing well, buddy. But anyway, there is efforts being made. Obviously, that event would be held here. Oh, we just got some gifted subs. Who gifted some subs? Stormfire 962 gifted out 5 community subs. Everyone give Stormfire an 07. I'll give you one. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That just hit our sub goal. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. But yes, we are moving towards a STARJUMP event. It'll be in Columbus, Ohio. Obviously, more info to come. But the reason I kind of wanted to mention it at all is because this will be our first one. I have some concerns about how many people would come. You know, in my mind, I would hope a lot of people would come. I have that worry that like 4 people would come. But I've heard the opposite. I've heard a lot of people have interest if we do it. you can bet your ass we're going to have giveaways and ship giveaways, and I'm going to try to leverage any contacts I have out in the creator world, the vendor world, CIG world, and see if I can get as much support for it as I can. It would still be kind of an intimate event, but there'd be a lot of STARJUMP swag. Be really cool. I think it'd be cool.
Ocean 911 says we should call it Jump Con.
Jump Con. But see, I wonder if people would think it's like a jump rope convention, you know, like
yeah, everybody show up with jump ropes.
Yeah, like maybe there could be
I'm here for the con,
some
man.
confusion there. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But $30 pack from a $30 donation from Pac-Man61. Thank you very much towards the Merchant Man. Everyone, we are careening towards a $25,000 goal. I believe that is an ender goal. I can't remember exactly what he's doing. I think he might shave his beard.
There is a 23,000.
No, I changed it because.
Oh, did you change it?
And the reason I changed it is because of the way that Tiltify works. Once someone has activated a higher goal, I tried to put an in-between goal in there because it was kind of a big jump. I just turned the 25,000 goal off and activated the 23,000, and it wouldn't change.
Won't do it.
So I just said, all right, forget it. So we'll leave the 25,000. I like to make shorter gaps in the goals, but that's okay. So $25,000 goal is an ender goal, and then I think I put a 27,000 goal for a Grim makeover stream where my daughter will do a complete makeover on me as I talk StarJump. Okay.
Can I come witness that one live? Just out of curiosity.
You could.
Just show up, sit in the background.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. Fast Card in chat. Fast Card, I hope you're well, buddy. I hope the Soul Citizens are kicking as much ass as they usually do. Hope everyone is well over there. Okay, everyone, it's time to get into it. We're going to take questions here as we go. I felt a little bad we haven't hit all the questions in some of the streams recently, so we may start off with some questions, and then we may move over into some 4.7.2 talk, 4.8 talk. We may kind of mix it in with the questions. So we're just going to keep it loose, kind of keep moving forward here. $30 donation from Solomon the Vengeful and $30 from Anonymous. Thank you very much. Okay, stand by, everyone. I am just fixing something here. Stand by. Okay. All right, what are we talking about? Let's get some questions done here. We'll go ahead and start. We'll start with questions. Why not? Cameron Bunny 6151 says, question. Whoa, we just got a $130 donation from Radium TX. Radium, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Huge donation. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Cameron Bunny says, when are you going to sell the Kraken Captain mug? And do you have a merchandise store where I can go to buy one? Little update on the merchandise store. It is very close. I've got the mug design. I've got a few other items like this hat, like this mug here design. I've got some stuff ready to go. I'm just connecting the payment system to the storefront. And I tried to do that with my existing PayPal, and there was some weird thing it wouldn't connect, so I started a new PayPal. I'm working on it. I am hoping to have, my plan is to have the merch store ready to go by the start of DefenseCon. Okay, so when DefenseCon gets here, the StarJump merch store will be activated, and you'll be able to get in on that. Okay, so hopefully that's the answer you wanted. I wanted it to be sooner than that, but issues. Hudson Ox says, Mr. Grimm, I love the Mr. Grimm. There is currently only one type of grenade in Star Citizen, no mines or tripwire devices. Do you think we will see more variety in these features added in the future? I believe this could add more depth to PvP. Yeah, I mean, I think we will. Art, I don't know what you think. I mean, we already technically have laser tripwire mines. They're not in player hands yet, but we do have them in the verse. CIG talked about those at length for a while there. We're getting that plasma area denial grenade. We're getting the area denial grenade. Yep. I think when we do get, I do think when we get first person scanning, I could see a mine or grenade that actually scrambles the scanning stuff for a period of time. Like you toss that out and it kills people's personal scanning in that area for, 30 seconds or whatever. Little handheld EMP. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I could see something like that. Guardian Templar says, I need a STARJUMP polo to wear at work. I hear you. Look, Art had a STARJUMP hat and his kid stole it. But I approve.
Again.
I approve.
Again.
Anything for the kids.
And then chastise me for not having it.
Yes, yes. But I approve of that. I think that's totally fine. Question here says, Rabbit07 says, context is the command module. Thank you. What do you guys think the command module variants, like an exploration version, a snub module that can dock with the Golem series? So essentially it's asking about our thoughts on variants of the command module. And I think there's an interesting question there, and where we should start. We should back up a little bit and just first ask, do we think there will be a command module sold separately as an individual ship? I'll be honest with you. I really thought no for the longest time. And I do think I'm kind of changing my opinion on that. And one of the biggest things that made me kind of switch my viewpoint on that was when Xenon was in chat the other night, who made the videos that we can actually bring up here in a minute, but who made the video of the command module and stuff like that, said he was able to spawn the command module separately, and he also could spawn it connected to the caterpillar. That is kind of interesting. Now, I don't want to read too much into that, but the fact that he could spawn the command module separately could be a little bit of a hint towards maybe the command module being its own thing. What I will say is if they do that, I would hope that we're getting more ships down the line that can connect to it. I don't know if they'll do that, but I would suspect they will want to leverage this new, command module tech. So yeah, I don't know, Art. What do you think? Variant wise for the command module, would you like to see variants for it, or do you hope it's sold separately?
I mean, I think it's going to get sold separately. Just for reasons.
Yeah.
I think it will be. I think it's an easy pickup for a lot of people, because then what that allows me to do is if I have just the command module and say my buddy has an ironclad and a caterpillar, well, he can get that ironclad assault ready for whatever operation we're getting ready to do, hauling or whatever.
Yeah.
He can pull that out. I can snap my command module to it, and then I can take it where it needs to go while he's got his caterpillar with his on there doing something else entirely.
Yeah. I could see, here's the other thing too. We saw how many drop seats, or I guess they're not drop seats, seats that the command module had in it, which was for its size a lot of drop seats or extra seats. I could totally see people using the command module as a quick, small, fast, and in a hurry drop ship. You put 2 or 3 of these in the belly of an ironclad, and you suddenly got the ability to drop a lot of troops off in the future if you need to. Even thinking in the future where we are boarding big capital ships, you could see the command module being used for something like that. Even you fly up to a Kraken, you land on the deck of the Kraken, everyone piles out, because I think it had like 12 seats in it, like 12 jump seats or something, which is kind of crazy. So who knows? In terms of like variants to it, though, the only tricky thing about that is I don't know if a command module variant has roll-on effects to whatever it's connected to, right? So let's say you bought the command module variant that has a slightly higher top speed or this, that, and the other. When you connect to the ironclad, does the ironclad have slightly higher speed versus a different command module variant? You know what I mean? So you start getting into some weird place like that. I cannot imagine CIG would do anything like that, especially with how new the actual feature is, the actual command module feature. It's going to be a connect, transfer, flight controls, disconnect, transfer, flight control. So I think that's going to be as straightforward as that. So I'm not expecting any variants. I think we're going to get a command module. I think the fact that you can spawn the caterpillar and this is what Xenon was saying, at least I think I'm right on this. He said you could spawn the Caterpillar with the new command module on it. I think it's not even going to be two separate command modules, one for the Caterpillar, one for the Ironclad. It's going to be one command module, one single command module that goes on any and all the ships. And that command module has a lot of jump seats to account for different types of ships it could connect to and those crews, right? That's at least what I'm thinking. So I can't wait to see, though, to be totally honest with you. I can't wait to see what they do with the command module. I'm pretty excited about it. Let's see. Next question. We'll get a few of these questions, and we'll talk about some 4.7.2 stuff. Start this over here. Let's see here. J Bird Max says, question, what's the minimum crew for the BMM? That is a good question. I think here, as a matter of fact, I have it. Let me switch over. This is my BMM video. I have the stuff here. Let me go down a little bit. We'll get those answers. So the current listed crew for the BMM is 4 to 8. Again, we know that in the future, with a ship of this scale, to utilize it at its full potential with full engineering, responsibilities being covered, future operator roles too, like scanning and all that stuff, I could easily see it hitting the 8-player mark all day long. I could see it going as high as like 14 people. And again, it really depends on how effectively you want to man it. You know what I mean? So that question about like, what's the crew count for this ship is always interesting, because what you're really asking is what level of efficacy do you want to operate the ship at? You could fly the ship by yourself. I fully expect every single ship in this game you could technically fly by yourself if you wanted to. Battle crews are included. Could get in there solo and fly it from A to B. Now, what else you are able to do with it is going to be severely, handicapped based off how many crew members you have in it. Much like when you're doing the Reclaimer, you could technically take it out by yourself. You're going to be much more efficient if you have an entire crew with you. If you go out by yourself, you're going to have to deal with the getting up and moving from station to station throughout the ship. So it's just something to consider. Obviously, a comparative ship like the Kraken Privateer, currently listed at 10 plus. The Kraken's crew count, though, currently is heavily dominated by its man turret count. And it's going through, we'll see where that's landed. It's probably going to be higher moving forward. So, see here. Killer Tank says, CIG stated that eventually we'll be able to request to dock at space station instead of a hangar. Do you think that eventually we'll be able to request the hangar size we want to land at? A good example is I would prefer a large hangar over a medium hangar to unload the whole B. So this is a great question. I sincerely hope so. That is my hope. One thing I would say about that is right now it is super irritating, by the way, to do any sort of large ship stuff in Nix for me, because they always want to assign me a dock instead of the damn hangar. So I would love to be able to select dock or hangar or anything like that and not have to deal with whatever the ATC assigns me. I will say I don't expect any changes there until we get the ATC refactor, though, which we do know is in development. I think it's coming after Transit Refactor. I think it's technically part of the Transit Refactor, but it's considered its own thing. ATC Refactor. Vioblight Gaming says, question, how big will the Hammerhead's laser variant be? Size 7? Question mark. Will the pilot control it or its turrets? And why should I not buy it? Because I pre-want it. Well, I don't know what you think are about a laser variant of the Hammerhead. I mean, I can only imagine what it is. Oh, we got a $160 donation from Rhino457 towards Master of Industry and Merchantman. Rhino, thank you very much. Salute to you, my friend. Appreciate it, everyone. Very generous tonight, everybody. You're kicking ass for these kids. Do appreciate it. I don't know what you think, Art. I'm just still very meh on a laser hammerhead. You're muted, I think.
That's
There you go.
that would track. My only it's Wednesday. But yeah, my only concern is let's look at how well lasers are doing right now on the Idris,
Mm-hmm.
and that slim to none. You hit maybe half, quarter, a percentage. So I think a lot of people are hoping that by getting a laser on the hammerhead, that it's then going to fix the laser on the Idris. And
Right.
my argument is no, they'll both be broken, at least for a little while longer. So would I like something for the pilot to do? I mean, the hammerhead pilot can already shoot missiles.
Mm-hmm.
They've got torpedo action. Would it be nice? Yeah, of course. But I'm still not completely sold on the whole. This is the shark with lasers in it, just because Disco Lando said that it was going to be.
Yeah, and there's the whole kind
But I
of
may
like
be wrong.
there's that whole
may be
kind of
wrong.
like, you know, meme. I mean, this goes back probably 15 years of the whole like shark with a laser gun strapped to its head kind of internet meme that's been out there. And it is cool and funny 15 years ago. And I hope this ship is not them just playing into a meme. If that is truly what this variant focuses on, I would hope it has some substantial changes to the ship itself, and not just like every turret on the hammerhead's been switched to a laser variant of that. And part of my thinking there, and again I've said this multiple times, is that should 100 be, if they're going to do that, it should be a weapons kit. It should absolutely be the weapons kit. Now, that's not to say that it isn't. They could take the L21 Wolf, L22 Alpha Wolf direction with the hammerhead, where there's the hammerhead and then there's the hammerhead Tiberion, or whatever the leaked name we've heard for it was. And you can swap their weapon kits back and forth with each other, but they're two models of the ship. Maybe they have slightly different exteriors as well. You know what I mean? But they're essentially the same Tiburon, yes. Right? So I could see that. You know, the Wolf is kind of interesting in that regard. It's actually what I wish they had done with. There's a couple other ships I wish they had done this for. For example, I've said this countless times too. I really love the Asperia Talon, but I don't like how it's two variants, and the only difference is one's guns and one's missiles. I want that to be a weapon kit that I can swap in and out of the single ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
CB Skywatch says, regarding the Hammerhead PDCs, the oldie day info on the different AI blades included a missile defense blade. If this stands, maybe the Hammerhead doesn't need PDCs. I mean, NPC versions shoot torps already. Yeah, you know, I was trying to find the list of freaking blades that CIG put out a long time ago, like where they were thinking they were going to take blades, and it had a whole list of different blade options. I know it exists out there. I had it for a long time. If anyone can link that, you can always DM to my Discord, but it was a list of the different computer blades that CIG wanted to do in the future, and it was posted a long time ago. But regardless, I do think we didn't see the exterior, but I really sincerely hope the Hammerhead got PDCs.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's something that's needed.
Yeah.
Just because, if you're kind of focusing on shooting all these fighters down, you need to be focused on that, and not also focused on that and the possibility of somebody torping you and taking you out super quickly.
Exactly. And again,
it's a military ship.
It's a military ship. It's larger than the Perseus. The Perseus has got them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
6.
So there is literally no reason why the Hammerhead should not have them. If it doesn't, then in my mind, it's a fail. You know what I mean? Right out of the gate. I know Xenon posted the interior walkthrough of the gold standard Hammerhead. I didn't see any big changes in terms of like, hey, there's something new and wild and crazy and unexpected. What there was a lot of like small little, obviously all the gold standard stuff, right? The components, the fire extinguishers, the engineering terminals, the light switches, and all that kind of stuff. And then there was a few little quality of life things, like for example, the mirrors now showed reflection. Some of the cabinets would open and close that didn't previously. So the ship definitely got brought up to current standards, but we never saw that exterior, right? So we don't know what all has been added to this. And it's also possible that CIG had the internals updated, but hadn't brought in the new external. Who knows? So I'm withholding judgment on the Hammerhead Gold Standard till I properly see it. But what I hope the Hammerhead Gold Standard has is, and Art, I'd be really interested in what you think about this. Personally, what I would like the Gold Standard to have, Cameron Bunny, thank you for that $30 donation, is I would like it to have at least 4 PDCs minimum. 4 PDCs. I would like it for its top turret, its top center mounted turret. I actually would like to be brought up a size.
Yeah.
I think the others can stay at, I think they're size 4s, right? I'm fine with
4s.
that. But I think that center top dorsal one, I think that should be brought up a size. I really do.
Yeah.
And I actually personally, I don't know what everyone else thinks about this. I would like the ability to, you know how the, or if not brought up a size, then I would like weapon kit options for the top dorsal and possibly the tail turrets. Remember how the Idris got, you could have the top nose gun, or you could switch that out to like the big missile turret or whatever,
Right.
something like that for the Hammerhead, to give people some options in how they deploy that ship. I think would be really smart. If they don't bring something like that to the table with the Hammerhead, I do have some concerns about how exciting that is going to be for new possible potential new owners. I think existing owners, you're going to be happy. Your Hammerhead's being brought up to standard as it should have been, and that's great. But I'm just thinking about potential new buyers here, especially if the Hammerhead Gold Standard is being positioned as an Invictus ship. Then, you know what I mean? I think there needs to be something extra there. And I'll be honest with you, I'm still currently leaning that way. I'm still currently thinking that there'll be something there to surprise us with the Hammerhead rework. So, okay, hit a few more questions here, and we'll dive into some 4.71 and then, or 4.72. Then we'll circle back to some questions, everybody. Tibble says, question: could you see the merchantmen in any assault fleets? It seems like it'll have some bite to it with all of its weaponry. Quite possibly. I mean, it's going to depend. I'd be curious of your thoughts on this too, but I guess it depends on what it's going up against. I think it's going to come down to what's on your, what are you coming at? What are you coming to deal with? For example, if the merchantman is part of an assault fleet and you're going up and you're going to fight some Star Lancer attacks or some paladins, this, that, and the other, I think the merchantman can probably hold its own pretty decent, primarily because it's a capital ship. It's going to have capital shields. It's going to have capital, armor, all that kind of stuff. And it's got dual size 8 guns on its port and starboard. It's got the big top turret. So I think it would be able to hold its own. Is it the ship you want to take in a big battle where Idrises and javelins and all that are at? Probably not. So it really comes down to what you're facing ultimately, right? By the way, Gentro Pumpkin came in with a $60 donation. Appreciate that. And Radium TX with a $35 donation. Appreciate it. We're talking about the Hammerhead. He donated towards the Hammerhead. We must be hyping him up. So yeah, I mean, thoughts on that, Art? I mean,
yeah, I mean, let's be real. Any ship in this game can be part of a fleet of some variety.
Yeah.
It just depends on how you use that ship. I mean, you could put a reclaimer in a fleet. I wouldn't put it in the front. I'd put it in the back to scoop up the enemy's guts afterwards and get all the extra special components that other people have been crafting.
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends. We don't know the armor capability of what the Banu ship has.
Yeah.
We don't know. We have an idea of what the weapons are. That's not finalized. I mean, they can always up them.
Okay.
So
it wouldn't shock me actually if I can tell you right now. Let's pay attention to what happens with the Kraken. The Kraken and the Merchantman are actually the only two ships I know of. In chat, you can obviously correct me on this, but they're the only ships I know of. Before the Perseus got changed, they were the only ships I knew of that had size 8 guns on them. The Kraken's got a dual size 8 nose turret, and the Merchantman does as well. Now that the Perseus has been pushed up to size 8, I could see the Kraken and Merchantman going up to size 9s. I think if that happens, though, I think both of them are going to be bespoke weapons. They'll be bespoke size 9s. I can almost guarantee it. So, when are the beans is when socially confused is saying.
Yeah. I just read it.
The fans asked for it, so we're switching out. It's bean time, baby. Let me do my little animation.
Yeah.
Boing. There we go.
You did all this for the graphic.
Yes,
You need to
exactly. I got to play the graphic. Here we go. My daughter loves when I play that. She made me make her one too, which I did.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. What kind of beanage are we doing here? Are we doing a double barrel? Chat? Are we doing the double barrel, 2 beans at one time?
Oh, no.
With all these donations that have come in, I almost think we have to.
Yeah, we do.
I almost think yes. They're saying of course. Socially confused says of course. Okay.
All right.
I'm drawing mine now. I'm drawing mine now, everybody.
Can I draw again?
Oh my goodness. I know crap. Look what I just got. I just got 2. This is crazy. I just got 2 of the same color.
How do you get that lucky? Oh, they're both 2. Oh, that's crap.
Yes. And look, this could either be toothpaste or blueberry, and I love both of those flavors. So this is actually going to be a good time for me. This is going to be a good time.
I've only pulled that once. That color one time.
Hey, baby. That's how we do it over here. STARJUMP, this is how we do it.
Burnt rubber.
Parker says the more you eat, the faster they're gone. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Burnt rubber and licorice or old bandage. And what is that? Pomegranate. That's right.
Yeah. Well, real quick, ostentatious one. I'm going to check your question now. Yeah, we'll talk about the Odin tonight for sure. All right, everyone. Here we go.
Hello, Darkness, my old friend.
Hello, Dark. This is going to be a good one for our. I'm Stan Groper's ready with the clip. I already know it. This is going to be a good time for me, though. Bottoms up, everyone. Thank you. Rough Gaming with the $30 donation. Thank you very much, Rough. Oh, yeah.
Pomegranate.
1 toothpaste, 1 blueberry, and they're both good.
Burnt rubber and pomegranate.
That's a good mix, ain't it? Burnt rubber and pomegranate. This is good. I'm having a good time. This is like a minty blueberry. I like it.
All right, sweet on this side, just hate on.
Yeah. This is good. I like this. But see, Chad isn't going to like this. Chad's
it's all burnt rubber now.
Yeah. Yes. Quinn, to be fair, Art was supposed to wear a STARJUMP hat. He didn't.
I didn't.
His awesome young son took it from him, so he's being punished. He's in the punishment corner. This is good. There's like a minty blueberry. It's refreshing. I think I'm actually going to walk away from this a better person than before. What's that? 1 second. Let me check. Blurry Pixel just sent me what I was looking for. Thank you, Blurry Pixel. I appreciate that. I'm going to pull that up. Thank you very much. Is this it? Oh, yeah, perfect.
It's in the chat.
Oh, it's GearCon, everyone. Make sure you give GearCon a shout. GearCon, we gave you some 07s earlier. All these amazing raffles. That was good. That was some good beans. Everyone, give GearCon an 07. He's in chat. He offered up every single one of the ships you see on screen, including the Merchantman we're giving away tonight. Just had a $100 donation come in from Forvin towards the Master of Industry pack. Thank you very much, Forvin. Salute to you, my friend. We've had a number of donations come in tonight, everyone. We're at a lifetime raise of $63,305. Some of that from this channel, some of it from Ender's channel. That is absolutely amazing. So far for Play Live this year, for the month of April, we have raised $22,747. Remember, I have to get the exact number. When we hit 25,000, we will officially raise more than we did last year. Keep that in mind.
In 2 months. In 2 months last year.
In 2 months last year. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, that was a damn good bean. FMZ says hydrate. We got to hydrate. You just been saved. Eagle0013 reached a 15 stream streak. Eagle, giving you the double salute, buddy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I may have like popped the top off of mine just out of curiosity, like look in there and kind of see. I've got like no blue beans.
You son of...
This is bull.
There may be one hiding down there.
It must be in like the bottom, yeah. But there's like no blue beans.
Here's the thing. I know Execute bought beans too. The next stream that he's a guest host on, he has to do it too. Video guest host. Real quick, everyone, I'm going to switch over to this real quick. I know we've kind of moved on, but I want to bring this up. Here is that list of blades, and shout out to Blurry Pixel for sending me this link. This is essentially what they say here is, what is the plan for computers and blades? Currently, we only know about using blades for turret automation and slaving. Do you have any other ideas currently what blades could be used for? And this is what Todd Pappy said. Now, please remember, Todd Pappy is no longer the game director of Star Citizen, is a retirer, but I would imagine these things are in a document somewhere at CIG. So one of them was a missile defense system blade, which automatically fires correct countermeasures to avoid being hit by missiles. There was an encryption-decryption blade for data runners, able to keep data encrypted to prevent theft, and also provides the means to attempt to decrypt the data. There's an emissions controller blade, which allows the pilot to set strict limits on emission production, providing additional warnings and shutting down unnecessary systems automatically when those thresholds are crossed. I always thought that one was a really cool one. There's an offensive E-War blade. This one enhances existing offensive E-War capability, could speed up or strengthen offensive programs / viruses, or offer new ones to run. Pretty sweet. Hacking blade, essentially. That's the offensive E-War. There's a defensive E-War blade, which enhances existing defensive E-War capability, grants further protection, and reduces potency of offensive programs or hacks. There's a mining blade, which speeds up mining scans and provides additional information, pinpointing pockets of ore, mineral density, etc. There's a salvage database blade, which speeds up scanning of wrecks, provides additional information, pinpoints valuable ship items, and shows materials contained within wrecks. That'd be a pretty sweet blade to have. A criminal database blade provides a list of known criminals or unlawful activity and the ability to accept bounties to track them down and bring them to justice. Pretty sweet. There's a hit list blade, similar to criminal database, but used by criminals. Bad people can view and accept contracts to take care of people. So think of this as a blade that specifically gives you access to a certain sort of, think of it like the dark web of the Moby class, where you can accept those nefarious contracts. Enhanced route and navigation blade. It says essentially enhanced star map and navigation options, lets the pilots know how dangerous the route is that they are taking, enables them to pick routes based off speed, safety, or avoiding areas. Again, that is a really cool blade. I'd love to have something like that in a Star Citizen 1.0 world. Trade database blade allows traders to view, buy, sell prices in different places in the verse while on the move, rather than having to be at a trade station. Shield management blade provides advanced shield control options to allow for finer control. Stellar charting system blade makes it easier to discover jump points if and when they move elsewhere, possibly also makes jump travel easier. This was a conversation that popped up in the STARJUMP Discord just this week, when someone was curious on what the Carrick's antenna would be used for. And I brought up that I still think CIG's plan is for the Carrick to be able to find and stabilize transient jump tunnels or quantum jump tunnels. I still think that's a thing. There's the item lock blade. Further enhances the targeting system to allow the pilot to lock onto specific parts of the ship so they're able to take out individual systems. Cargo manifest masker for smuggling. This is a blade that disguises the items in your cargo manifest to allow you to hide contraband from ship scans. Pretty sweet. There's an internal security system blade. This is for larger ships. Provides internal ship info, position of life forms aboard the ship, and the ability to unlock individual doors. Now, we know this is really part of just engineering now in the resource network. So Some of these blade ideas, obviously, here are way out of date, so take that for what it is. And then lastly, a drone management blade for larger ships allows ships to control onboard drones. Again, this article is from 2020 AMA recap. So old, actually not as old as I thought, though. So some of this obviously has evolved. So some of these controls now just inherit into resource management and engineering, but you can kind of see where they're going. I do think there's some really, really cool stuff in here. Again, one of my favorite ones I thought was just really cool was that emissions controller blade. You know what I mean? Especially if you're running a stealth combat ship. I've been talking a lot about the Eclipse lately. Being able to further manage your emissions output like that would be really cool. Or even if you're in a big ship like a Perseus or a Polaris or something, and you do want to kind of fly under the radar, but you're flying a ship that has a lot of, emission output, putting in one of these blades to further control that signature could be kind of interesting. So yeah, thank you for sending that. I'm going to make sure I save that because I have looked for that many times and haven't been able to find it. So thank you very, very much. Okay, let me go back here we got a few more questions and then I want to roll into 4.7.2 news. Okay, so a couple more questions here. Where did I leave off? Citizen Joel says, what fantasy do you one day hope to live out in the SC verse? That's a great question. I love that question. I can tell you, and I'd love to hear yours, Art. And those of you in chat, put in chat what your future fantasy moment is in Star Citizen. What is that little loop? Doesn't have to be a gameplay loop, but what's that moment you hope to recreate? And I can tell you mine right now. I am looking forward to that future, and it's like a post 1.0 future because I want it to be permanent. I want it to have some meaning, but I'm looking for that moment where I will go out, scour a planet's surface, scanning, searching for that perfect nook and cranny to build some sort of structure. So I go and find that little area, stake it out, put down a beacon, come back with, the extra small builder or even a pioneer or something and start construction on, a refinery or a house outpost or a little hospital, or whatever I'm building. Just that moment, though, where you're out there scouting for that perfect piece of property, I think is a bit of gameplay magic that, like fantasy, that I'm really looking forward to. Art, what's your kind of gameplay fantasy for this that you hope becomes a reality at some point?
It would have to be standing on the bridge of a capital ship with the ability of being able to, at that holo terminal, tell my people what to do.
That's a good one.
Move my fleet, to be able to set back and actually get a full picture of the battle versus me having to be in a turret or me having to be piloting and then turning my head around, asking for updates and can you move over here? Can you move over there? But the ability just to set back and go, I need this ship with this name, the Chiron, I need to move this here.
Yeah.
And I need this here. And then those pilots get those notifications with some sort of heads up display that they can lock onto and move to.
Yeah.
Just that ability to command and control, because that will be very interesting to see the players that kind of stand out in that role of command and control. And when you come up with a fleet and you've got certain people that are heading off these fleets, you're like, I don't want to fight this person because they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Zenzukin, thank you very much for that $30 donation. A couple of people were posted in chat. Someone said that they'd love to own a little rest and refuel station in an asteroid belt. I think that'd be really cool. I can see how that'd be cool. And Kissany says, I'd want to see player run towns. Again, it's, everyone's got that kind of little moment they hope that comes to fruition. And hopefully, if CIG's promises are maintained and everything is systemic like they say it is, we'll get there, right? We will get there. Jay Burmack says, StarJump Fleet Viewer is so good, everyone should be playing around with it. It's for size comparison, it's amazing. Yeah, so real quick note on StarJump Fleet Viewer. There's been some things happening in the background that could lead to quicker updates for Fleet Viewer. A lot of this work Starlet is doing to try to build in more efficiencies for us pushing ships to Fleet Viewer faster. There's a lot that goes into it, more than you know probably. And the more features we built into Fleet Viewer, the more stuff that goes into bringing new ships in. It's not just uploading an image anymore. There's a lot more complicated stuff, but Starlet has really been kind of making some back-end changes that should change the future of Fleet Viewer and how quickly it gets updated. So, okay, I'm gonna do one more question, and then we're gonna hit some 4.7.1 nudes, and then we'll come back to questions. Simon Wolf says, "Mr. Grimm, the Ironclad as a loaner for the Kraken? Question mark? Yes or no?" I would think so. Currently, the Kraken has the Caterpillar as a loaner amongst the, I think it's Buccaneer, Caterpillar, maybe one other ship, I forget. So I do think that will change to an Ironclad. Yeah. I don't think it'll be the Ironclad Assault, by the way. I think it'll be just the base Ironclad, because what I think they're trying to do there is give you a cargo ship that's closer to the Kraken's ultimate cargo capabilities, which again, last we've heard is about 3,700 something SCU. So, Fastcar says the Kraken doesn't have that kind of cargo, right? The Kraken actually has more cargo than the Ironclad by quite a bit. I think the Kraken is 3,700 some odd SCU, so quite a bit. If you actually go back to the Ironclad is Rad video where Jared is interviewing Ben Curtis and John Crew and all them, John Crew even says that, and this surprised me when he said this, but he talks about the end game of cargo ships, and he mentions the hull D and hull E, and he says the Kraken. So he puts the Kraken in really the same regime as the hull C, D, and E. Now the last we heard, the Kraken does like 3,700 SCU of cargo, if I'm not mistaken, but I really wonder if that's been upped. As a matter of fact, it would not shock me. Oh, thank you, Andrew. 3,792 SCU. Not as much as a whole C, but a damn high cargo count. It would not shock me if that's increased a little bit. Why is this important? I've said this many times. The Kraken to me is the capital ship, is the best capital ship in terms of paying for itself. And it's purely because of how much cargo it's built around carrying, right? So from that...
I'll be right back.
Yep, no worries. So from that standpoint, I think that the Kraken is uniquely positioned to play in that in-game level cargo gameplay, right? Oh, Maelstrom, $150 donation. Good Lord, for the Masters of Industry pack. Thank you very much. Oh, appreciate that. Salute to you. Thank you for your donation. So have some incredible donations tonight, everyone. We are only, I don't know, how much? $60 or so off from crossing the $23,000 mark. Remember, when we hit $25,000, we've already made more than we made in the entire 2 months of last year. And that is all due to you all. Give yourselves an 07. I appreciate that. You know what I need to do? I need to, on this, I need to put Art's background back there as a temp image. There we go. So that's incredible. That is incredible. Okay. Let's keep going here. All right. Since we're waiting on Art, I do want to get to 4.7.2 news. You know what? We'll go ahead and dive into that. Real quick, I am going to pause for a second. Don't forget, everyone, we have the BMM raffle being drawn tonight at the end of the show. We're going to draw that live on air. This is for the Banu Merchantman raffle drawing. You can scan the QR code there. Obviously, donate $30 towards the STARJUMP St. Jude Tiltify link. You'll see the Merchantman raffle there. You can select that one. Get you a ticket for this ship. You can get more than one ticket. We'll be doing that raffle later on in the show. So someone tonight walking away with a Banu Merchantman. Okay. We're only doing one Banu Merchantman during Play Live too. So this is the moment. If you've wanted this ship, now's the time. Texas Horny Toad with a $150 donation. My goodness, y'all are just kicking ass. Thank you very much. Salute to you, Texas. Appreciate you. Texas Horny Toad, by the way, won the Starlancer Attack, one of our other raffle ships. He won that last week. So if you're one of those people out there thinking, I never win anything, you can. Texas Horny Toad won the Starlancer Attack. So again, everyone give GearCon an 07 for donating all of these ships that you see on screen that we're giving away. Obviously, the Hammerhead giveaway, the Merchantman giveaway is tonight, $30 donation towards Tiltify link. Next week on April 29th, we'll be doing 2 raffles. That'll be a big show. That'll be for the Hammerhead and the Polaris. And then on May 30th, so at the end of the Play Live campaign, we'll do the big Masters of Industry giveaway raffle. $100 donation. Again, you get all the ships listed there: the Pioneer, the Arastra, the Hull B, the Reclaimer, the Mole, the Vulture, the Golem, and the C2 Hercules. You'll get them all. Now, if your question is, do we have more stuff in May? Yes, we'll have more ships in May. We'll announce that closer to May. We may have some stuff for Level Up. You'll just have to wait and see. We're getting closer. Level Up starts at the end of this week. A lot of speculation around what that's going to be. But, excuse me. But there you go. There's our stuff. I'll go back to the ship commercials here as we talk 7.1. Okay, Art. Let's talk Star Citizen Alpha 7.2, officially live today. The Nyx system continues to expand, as CIG called it. Actually, let me, you know what? I think I have that up, right? Yep, I do have that up. So here it is. Alpha 4.7.2 is finally live. The Nyx system continues to expand. They always give it a little bit of a tagline. Alpha 4.7 introduced new QV breaker stations with rare and remarkable resources for the taking, social space stations. I do want to check those out, and more in our continuing efforts to build out our newest star system into the dynamic hub of gameplay activity we envision. Again, no planets yet. We don't know when we're going to see those initial planets. I think it could be later in the year, but I think the reason that it may take that long is that we're going to, the first planets to come online for Nyx will be Genesis planets, so kind of a big deal. Let's go through some of the stuff here for 4.7.2. The first one is the Nyx Mission Pack 2. Descriptor for that one: the new criminal factions have established themselves in Nyx, making life difficult for the People's Alliance and the legitimate operators working out of the system. Nyx Mission Pack 2 brings a new wave of contracts across multiple archetypes and organizations in response to the shifting landscape, covering combat, courier work, cargo recovery, salvage, and more across both Nyx and Stanton. Now, I know, and we'll go through some of those mission types here, but Art, you said you got in and checked out some of this stuff?
Yeah, I checked out some of I think we checked out an extreme bounty.
Okay.
It was me and an org mate, not knowing what we were getting ourselves into, and we learned very quickly we needed a bigger boat.
By the way, we had
Very
a $30
bigger boat.
$30 donation from Vera Says Hi. Thank you very much. Reviled with a $30 donation. Appreciate that, you too. And Jared coming in with a $130 donation with towards the Merchantman and Masters of Industry pack. Thank you very much, Jared. That is amazing, everyone. Bringing us to 23,267. Actually, really quick here. Let me just check. Let me refresh this. I want to make sure we're getting the latest numbers here. But yeah, let's go through some of those mission types here. There's the delivery courier missions. New courier contracts are available from organizations across Stanton and Nyx. Local delivery work runs between outpost stations and landing zones, tasking players with moving two-handed deliverables. I kind of am excited to get back to those. I mean, when I first started playing Star Citizen, I did a lot of that type of stuff, you know, the box missions. So personally, I hope that I would like to do a little bit of that again. It's been a while. You know what I mean? It's been a while. We have delivery, recover cargo. Recover cargo contracts task player with locating and retrieving lost or abandoned cargo from ships in space and returning it to the issuing organization. These contracts range from 1 SCU crate up to 6. Again, I love those too. I used to play the investigate missions back a long time ago in like 2020, where you'd have to go to a crash site and recover a box or two. I always love those. They're fun if you just want to get in. You're by yourself, maybe. You just want to blow an hour or two. They're a lot of fun. Combat ship wave attack. Intercept and eliminate coordinated waves of hostile ships operating in Nyx and Pyro space. Enemy fighter groups arrive in sequences, and players must clear each wave before the next is triggered. These sound really cool. I do wish there was Vandal versions of these. I'm assuming these are human ships, right?
They are.
Okay. By the way, RG Canis with a $30 donation. Thank you very much towards the merchant man. Appreciate that. You all are kicking ass today. $23,297. Incredible. And then before I can even say another word, Paul M. Edwards comes out with a $165 donation. My goodness, towards the merchantman, the Polaris, and possibly more. Goodness gracious, we're up to a lifetime of $63,855 with an April total of $23,462. Okay, continuing on here. Bounty kill ship. Bounty contracts are now available in Nyx targeting specific criminal vessels operating near the Rockcracker sites. Locate and destroy the marked target to collect the reward. Is this one of the ones you did?
Yeah.
Tell us about how that went.
So we picked the extreme one because go hard or go home. We brought a Scorpius out with a missile turret, and then an Ion, because we were like, oh, that kind of covers everything. Most bounties, nothing super, So it was two. First, it told us that we had to fight off 2 waves. They were fighters for the most part, Scorpius. Some heavy stuff like vanguards and stuff like that, and then I think we had maybe an M2 showed up as well. Second wave, kind of the same thing, so it was a little time consuming but not terrible. And then the boss showed up because we were like 2 waves were done, good, great. The boss showed up, and that was 10 fighters and a Polaris.
Ooh, okay. So somewhat stiff competition.
We yelled bonsai and ran into it because at that point we were like, we don't have time for this. We're good.
Anxiety is asking, what's Art's org? Art, do you want to pimp your org at all? Or is this not the time or place? It's up to you.
I mean, I can always pimp the org.
Pimp the org, Art.
I'm part of Horizon Interstellar. We were originally part of Luna Wolves, and we decided to go off and do our own thing. We are approximately on the Spectrum side of things. We got about 3,000 members in our Discord. We have about 200, and we kind of do a little bit of everything. We've got some unique squadrons. We've got we set up events mainly on the weekends, but we're trying to get stuff filled out throughout the week, where we get people together and just have fun.
And me and Art have talked a little bit about this as like content for the show at some point. Back when I used to do some stuff in the Arma world, some community content in the Arma world, we had a unit spotlight episodes we would do. And I do want to get back that with Star Citizen. I would like to do episodes that sometimes will spotlight a particular org. Maybe we have a member from that org on to talk about what they do, and kind of spotlight it, advertise it for people that are potentially interested in an org. So I have a feeling we will properly do Art's org one day. I think God, is it the 6th that we're having our next guest on, Art?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's in an org that we'll talk more about. We'll go into that. They're a pretty well-known org, especially in the PvP space. So highlighting different orgs that focus on different types of gameplay, I think will be really cool. Again, as this game starts to grow and more content like strike groups comes online, it's good for people to know, even the people that like to play solo. Okay, again, there's times I like to get in the game and play with my friends. There's times I like to get in the game and just be by myself, listening to some music, doing a gameplay loop. But just helping those people that only play solo but would like to experience some of the other contact, realize that there are some orgs out there, and to not be intimidated. A lot of these orgs are filled with really great people, really nice people, really accessible people, and sometimes just getting properly introduced to them is a great way to spread the word. So next on the mission list for 4.7.2, combat bombing run. Re-implementation of bombing run missions into the PU. Destroy fuel infrastructure and critical installations at enemy-held asteroid bases and distribution centers in Stanton. Targets are defended by hostile ships and turrets. Players must eliminate all marked objectives at the location to complete the contract. Available in lawful and unlawful variants, depending on the issuing organization. I've never done one of these. I don't think I've ever done one of these mission types. Chat, if any of you have, hopefully you've enjoyed it. I did get GearCon's message, by the way, Art. I did respond to him, sorry. Okay. And then last, salvage, paid salvage. Adagio, did I say that right? Adagio, hopefully I said that right, is issuing lawful paid salvage contracts across all systems, directing players to the location of a derelict vessels to be stripped and processed. So nice to see the return of these. So yeah, Alpha 4.7.2 gives you something to do this weekend, okay? It is live now. What this also means, of course, we just had a $100 donation from the Salty Sierra for the Masters Industry Pack. Thank you very much, Salty. Appreciate you. That is a great segue, by the way, to me answering a couple of questions in regards to the Master of Industries pack. Okay, so the first one is let's see here, is that I'll just read the statement. Okay. Says that this is a GearCon made pack. This is not actually a CIG pack. So that's kind of the first question that some of you may have that I'll just go ahead and answer. So the Masters of Industry pack, I'll swing back to it here. You see it here at the bottom. Or actually I can bring this up. Let me bring this one up. Oops, hold on a minute. Just messed up. There we go. Masters of Industry pack. So this is a GearCon created pack. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Says here, so they will be individually meltable. When you receive them, you're going to receive them as individual ships. If you want to melt particular ones individually, you can. So then you'll be able to make those changes how you see fit. Another question was, says here that these will not be giftable, okay? But you will be able to upgrade these or CCU them, okay, to different ships. As long as you have the appropriate CCU, okay? So let's say the Vulture there that's in the pack, if you want to upgrade that to, a Mole or a Moth or whatever, and you get the appropriate CCU, you can apply that, okay? So this is not a CIG pack like you would get where the ships are all bundled in one thing. This is going to be a individual ship sent to you by GearCon, so you'll have the same level of control you would have over them under any ship that's gifted to you. You can CCU them, you can melt them, all that. You will not be able to re-gift them though. So you're not gonna be able to send one of these to your friend. Why? Because once something has been gifted, it can't be gifted again. Okay, that's how CIG does it. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so Masters of Industry Pack, thank you for the donations on that. We've had some big ones. We are now at $23,562. Actually, really quick, I'm going to bring something up here. I want to remind everybody what your generosity has done. Let's go ahead and bring it up here. I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to plop this right up here. This is the St. Jude Play Live Tiltify leaderboard, whatever you want to call it. And I just want to highlight right here. You can see our name. Actually, let me break it out here so I can make it a little bit more in the window. Let me scroll down. You can see right here, STARJUMP at 23,562 at the top of the overall fundraisers. Really great work. You all are coming out. This is not me, by the way. Legends. This is you all. This is you all. Give yourselves an 07. Give yourselves a pat on the back. This is also a big shout out to GearCon. So give GearCon an 07, these amazing raffle prizes, getting us up to this high number. Top fundraiser of the week, 7,516 by us, again on top. And on the team side of things, Pink Hat Squad still solidly in the lead. Pink Hat Squad, obviously the team that the STARJUMP fundraiser is a part of, okay? But I always look at the first one here. Top overall fundraisers. We are doing great. I think that is a big number and one that you all should be proud of. So give yourselves a pat on the back. That is incredible. Thank you for your generosity. Remember that the kids at St. Jude, obviously fighting cancer. I can't imagine anything more horrible than that. What they have to go through, what their families have to go through. Their stay at St. Jude is completely taken care of. They do not have to pay a cent for treatment provided by St. Jude. Again, that is what your donations are doing. And last but not least, but this is obviously critically important, is that when you donate to the STARJUMP Tiltify link, none of that money comes to STARJUMP in any way. It goes to Tiltify, and Tiltify sends it directly to St. Jude. That's how it works. We don't touch the money. We don't even have access to the money. Okay, we have zero access to it at all. So when you donate, feel free to donate in confidence. Tiltify is one of the leading platforms here for this type of charity donation work. So this is the right way to do it. It's a secure way to do it. You can donate in confidence. Okay. So there you go, everyone. We're killing it. $23,562. Remember, we get to 25,000. Ender's going to shave his beard or his head hair. I don't want to know about anything else he'll shave. And when you hit $27,000, my daughter is going to give me a makeover live on stream. It's going to be interesting. Captain Kern with a $30 donation. Appreciate that, Captain Kern. Do appreciate that. All right. Let's move to the next thing now. Okay, we still got to talk about the Banu Merchantman. We're going to get to that. But let's talk a little bit about Alpha 4.8, DefenseCon, Invictus, all that. Okay, we are quickly heading into, as a matter of fact, now that 4.7.2 is out, I imagine we're going to get 4.8 PTU runs here pretty soon. Leading up into Invictus. I think the data mining has already started. We've already started getting hints and hints and like little bits of information of possibly what's coming. Still a lot unknown. We're a little bit early, but I would imagine here in the next week to week and a half, we're going to start learning some big information for DefenseCon for Invictus. Now, I think one of the most interesting things right off the bat, before we get into some specific stuff that's come out, and we are going to talk about the roadmap roundup because it links to some 4.8 stuff, but I want to just go back to this topic that we've talked about a few times here, and I've seen a couple content creators make videos on it just this week. We still don't really know what the deal is with Invictus this year. We know there's a DefenseCon, May 14th to May 27th. And it's labeled as Drake Presents DefenseCon, but we have not heard anything from or about Invictus. There hasn't been any poster art leaked. There hasn't been any show floor maps, some of those graphic elements that usually leak out about Invictus. We haven't seen any of that. And it makes me wonder, a couple things. It makes me wonder if there's going to be an Invictus this year, technically, or if it's all DefenseCon, or like Ray Gunn says, maybe Invictus is just on the website, or will there be two events running in parallel? That I think would be interesting. Part of the reason I wonder if they would do something like that is because, again, I know we're getting the battle cruiser concept. So it would be interesting if they tied that around Invictus because it's a big military ship. It would seem odd if the Anvil battle cruiser, the Anvil Odin, was tied to DefenseCon. I don't know. But either way, I'm still pretty curious about that. Art, have you read into any more about that? Do you have any opinions on that? I mean, not that it matters in the grand scheme of things. It's still going to be the ship sale. We're still going to get everything, but Do you think we're going to get a proper Invictus this year, or is it all DefenseCon all the
Uh,
time?
I think it's all DefenseCon. And the reason why is we've seen Drake kind of take. We've got a new head of Drake
Yep.
who has stepped forward to say, "Hey, we're here. We want to be better than what you think we are. We want military contracts. We want to fill that gap." Also, in the 4.7 notes, we've got the fact that the UAE lost a whole bunch of money due to hacking.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe Drake came in and was like, "Hey, we'll sponsor it this
Oh.
time. We'll take over,
Oh, what if it
and
was?
we'll pay you to be there."
That would be funny if it was DefenseCon spot or presents Invictus. That'd be crazy. Now it's JoJo TV or it's JoJo Live is in chat. He says part of me thinks DefenseCon is at Area 18 and the normal Invictus stuff will be at Orson or New Babbage or something like that. Yeah, could be something like that. Spectre EH says, Graham, they already confirmed several times the battlecruiser will be an Invictus. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's they've confirmed or that the battlecruiser will be an Invictus. We have heard that. But we don't know technically if they're just saying Invictus because that's generally what this is called around this time period, but what they mean is DefenseCon, or if it'll be run in parallel. We just don't know that information yet, right? Here's the thing. Drake is a very popular manufacturer, probably one of the most popular manufacturers. So I don't think focusing the entire event around Drake DefenseCon and having Drake branding and everything is a bad thing. I think they're going to soak up a ton of money. And I do think they could still blend the two events just fine. But one thing I think that's always been really fun with Star Citizen is there's always been a little bit of that DefenseCon Invictus rivalry, right? Oh, we got a $130 donation from Mantrid towards the Merchantman and the Master of Industry pack, bringing us up to $23,722. Incredible. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. You know what? It's been a while. Gonna hit that 007. Thank you for that donation, Mantrid. Appreciate that. So yeah, I don't want us to lose out on that little rivalry. I think that's kind of cool. So personally, I hope, yeah, thanks for that shout out for JoJo Art. But hopefully, I hope that they keep a little bit of that. We'll have the Invictus run parallel, to DefenseCon. So we'll have to see. That's one of my biggest things I'm curious about. Again, it's not a big deal. Obviously, they're going to still have the ship sales, but I like a little bit of that kind of like lore, in-game lore, out-of-game meta stuff CIG plays with. I think that's really unique in their approach. So,
I mean, we could all just stay on the website and just buy the ships.
Sure.
But how many of us actually go to the show floor?
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot more people going to show floors in clothes, not just armor, but actually, dressed up for the event. Like, hey, I'm just going to walk down, put glasses on. It's a moment where we all can kind of just go. We can chill, have a good time. No combat's required. No armor's required. And you just kind of feel like, okay, yeah, I'm really going to see what these displays are, to find these little things that they have hidden for us if they have those again this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point. And Silver, hopefully I said that right. Silver in chat just said CIG did update the Galactopedia page for Invictus a few weeks back to say Invictus launch week, Fleet Week, is an event held at the last week of May. And he points out that Invictus was never held the last week of May. It was the third week of May. And sometimes, I guess about the third week is when Invictus started, sometimes the second week. And that could be another option. Maybe they're flipping them, where instead of DefenseCon coming at the end for a few days, maybe Invictus is just going to be at the end for a few days, and DefenseCon will be the bulk of the show. I could see them doing something like that. I hadn't thought about that, but that seems logical.
Think that they're
Go ahead.
Do you think that they're holding it back for a squadron announcement?
Maybe.
Possibly.
Like
a whole new kind of like trailer pops, like first day of Invictus, boom. Squadron 42 fall.
I think let's go on to this topic for a minute. Let's go on to the Squadron 42 topic for a minute. I really think it's impossible for us not to get some Squadron something at this Invictus DefenseCon, whatever the hell we want to call it, right? It's impossible that we won't. I mean, it's possible, but We really shouldn't go past this event without some bit of news. I do think with all the things that have happened, the Squadron 42 buybacks drama and all that kind of stuff, I do think more than ever before we are ripe for Squadron news. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you all. I'm going to pause the video there. I'm going to bring something up really quick. I don't know if I covered this on my last stream, but the Squadron 42 webpage was updated just days ago. Okay. What happened is first they had nothing on the page. They took everything off. Then about a day and a half later, they updated it. Now this video is the same. Okay. And you can watch the video. They got Squadron 42 logo. But when you scroll down, it's all new stuff. So when you scroll down, now you get this tagline, "In the dark of space, Valor rises." When you continue to scroll, it goes through the cast of the game. That wasn't there before. Now pay attention to this background. See how this background's got the asteroid field? As you scroll, you get to a screen where the sky changes and a kingship is emerging from space behind there. This is the first time we've seen this art, by the way, this kingship art. So that's all brand new. And then we get down to the bottom, we get this piece of key art here, so you can sort of connect to Star Citizen. And then it scrolls down and they got this new piece of key art here. Very similar to some art that came out recently in a Squadron 42 newsletter. But now here's the interesting thing about this art, and this is something I was talking to Execute about. I think he showed this on his stream too. Doesn't this look like box art to you? Like what you'd find on like the back of some box art? Not that Squadron's going to have some like physical box art. Maybe it will if they do a physical version. But damn, don't it look like that? Don't that look like some heroic key art right there? Right.
I think we might see something like that. Maybe like you walked into like the Invictus Hall, boom, right there.
Yeah. Jojo says went away for a day or two, but came back. Leads me to think they're working on stuff behind the curtain. I think so as well. How they structured that, I don't know. But here's one thing I think CIG does have to consider, and this is an interesting point, is that if we have DefenseCon, and from everything we've heard, an incredible lineup of ships for this DefenseCon. We've heard everything from the S-65 Stingray from Kruger. We've heard about the Aegis Tiburon. We've heard about the MISC Starlight, obviously the Ironclad and the Ironclad Assault. Possibly the command module's a separate thing. Okay, we've heard about stuff already. We know the Ironclads are going to be the real showstoppers, let's be honest. Okay, they're CIG setting them up to be the big showstoppers. And you're going to have that DefenseCon. People are going to be spending money. When you get to, let's say if they were to wait to the end to do some sort of Invictus-themed, UEE Navy-themed thing where they do the squadron announcement, they reveal the Odin battlecruiser concept. Now, they could reveal the Odin battlecruiser concept on like Anvil Day of DefenseCon if that's how they're going to do it. But let's say they were to wait till it's a proper military event with Invictus and they reveal that Odin battlecruiser. Now you've got all these people that's already spent their money on the 12 days of DefenseCon, and now you're offering up this massive ship. Unless, and there's three options for the battlecruiser in my opinion. Possibly more, but there's three main ways they could do it. One, they could do a standard F5 war type concept sale. The next one is maybe they do that, but then they offer existing, maybe Javelin owners or who knows, Legatus owners, whatever, a path to the battlecruiser. That's another option. I think that would be slightly controversial. As a Javelin owner, I would love for it to happen, but I do think that'd be controversial. The third one, though, that a lot of people haven't considered is that the battlecruiser may not be offered for sale. They never said it was. They said it would be revealed. The last concept would be revealed during Invictus. They never said it was going on sale during Invictus. So they could just reveal the concept and not put it on sale yet. Now, I don't think that's the case because when they said we'll do our last concept ship, I got the feeling that meant a concept sale. Now, Gin and Tonic says they said concept sale. I don't remember them saying that. I'm not saying you're wrong, Gin and Tonic. Maybe you're right. I don't remember them saying that. I kept remembering them saying we'll reveal the next concept ship. But if it is the next concept sale, then there you go. But it also could be they just reveal it. We don't, we'll have to see. It wouldn't be the first time they changed plans, right? I think it would depend on where the concept is at. So we'll have to see. There's a couple of ways they could do it. But I know that, with all the ships coming during DefenseCon, people are going to be spending a lot of money. We'll have to see. GearCon, yeah, exactly. That's another thing. I brought that up a few times. Again, they could. There's a lot of other alternate paths they could do to selling the concept. They could sell the full ship as a concept pledge with super limited waves, like they would a Javelin or something, and then they could do a blueprint sale of the battle cruiser. Maybe it's still limited, but a lot more quantity and a hell of a lot more, a hell of a lot cheaper. So let's say if the battle cruiser was $5K, maybe the blueprint is like $500, right? Or whatever. I know that seems crazy. You're paying $500 for instructions on how to build something. Spectre EH, I actually agree with you. I do not think they should sell the blueprint to the battlecruiser. I don't want everyone bringing their torches to the front yard here. I do not think they should sell the blueprint to the battlecruiser. I'll go ahead and say that. But I'm just saying it could happen. Either way, Squadron. That's kind of there's a lot of big question marks on what is coming in May. I think we have to hear something about Squadron. It is time. If they're hoping to even launch this thing by late this year,
time.
Yeah, it's past time. But even if if this is supposed to sell anytime this year, in my opinion, the marketing campaign needs to start now, like at Invictus, for sure.
Well, and the other thing is, we've still got no word on CitizenCon.
Yep, zero word on CitizenCon.
Also concerning.
And I did look it up. I think the last few CitizenCons, including the digital one, the in-person one, they were all announced, I think, in March. I think there was some that were announced in April, but most of them were all announced in March. So we're technically past due for any sort of CitizenCon announcement. Yeah, as JoJo says, we're really late for CitizenCon news at this point. And I think that is purely because CIG is, if I had to guess, CIG is one of two things. One, they have already got it planned out. Maybe they're still going to not necessarily do a CitizenCon, but it's going to be some sort of Squadron 42 release celebration thing. And they're not telling us about it yet because they want to wait till they announce Squadron's coming in October or whatever. Or they are at that kind of make it or break it kind of moment internally. They're having a lot of meetings to figure out where Squadron is going to land. And at this point, I think what they would have to do is, I think an in-person CitizenCon's probably off the table. I think that what they would quickly do then is plan for a digital CitizenCon direct again. Shorter, 2-hour block of information, something they can easily put together. And that would be the plan if Squadron is not ready to go at that time. Reaper with a $30 donation towards the merchantman. Thank you very much, Reaper. Appreciate you. So, we'll see. I mean, there's the off chance that the level up thing coming this weekend actually has some Squadron news. Personally, I don't think it will. And here's why I don't think it will. I think if they were going to make some major Squadron announcement, they would have hinted towards something like that in their initial posting about the Level Up Expo. I think they would have said something like, make sure to tune in for a major announcement. They would have said something like, they would have seeded it.
Well, they would have just said, make sure you turn into the stream.
Yeah, they wouldn't
have had to drop too much, but they just said, I even looked at the Level Up site just to kind of review it a little bit, and they just said, hey, we got a prominent place on the floor. That's it.
Yeah,
Nothing about a speaking thing. They just said they got a spot on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Level Up is it's an event that AMD and CLX and some of these companies have been to multiple times before. They're kind of regulars, and I think with the Mustangs coming off of the store, Calm Lost Force, thank you for cheering those 90 biddies. Appreciate that. But with those Mustangs coming off the store, I think CIG repartnering with AMD, I think we're going to get the Mustang Mark II or the gold standard Mustangs, however you want to do it. As many people have said, including Execute over Info Runners and Algrid, CIG is trying to get these old starter ships upgraded for all those squadron players they're going to hope that come into Star Citizen. But the fact that, say, AMD is there again may mean some sort of GPU purchase that gets you a special ship. Remember, I think CLX is going to be there with a PC set up, or they're giving away a PC that's got an AMD GPU in it and an AMD processor. So obviously, I think there's something going on there. So we'll have to see. It would make a lot of sense if they were going to do the Mustang Mark II. If they did a new AMD Mustang Mark II, that would be kind of cool. I went to a ship show that Dusty Star put on last weekend, and someone was there with the original AMD Mustang, which is pretty cool. First time I'd seen one in game, actually. So yeah. Let's go through a couple of things. We'll probably come back and talk about this a bit. Let me go to, where is it? Roadmap Roundup real quick. We did get a Roadmap Roundup today. And by the way, everyone, I haven't called them out today because we've had a number of them and I do appreciate it. I got a number of follows today. Hipida, hopefully I said that right. Halcyon Prime, Macabus subscribed with Prime. Thank you very much. $60 donation from Swan547, taking us to $23,812. Let's see, Dahunerj, hopefully I said that right, followed. Thank you very much. GearCon cheered 40 bits. Thank you very much, Gear. Jack Skellington with just followed. Appreciate that. Got a couple hydrates and posture checks. I'm always cracking the back and drinking, so thank you very much for encouraging me to do so. Zeros, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Let's go through the roadmap roundup. Which had it released today. So again, there was a scroll down here. There was, again, the notable release stuff for Alpha 4.7.2, again, centered around the Nyx mission pack. Obviously, that stuff has been set to released because it was released today. Alpha 4.7.2 went out. Now, for Alpha 4.8, a couple of things got moved to tentative. Finally, the Ultiflex Novia crossbow finally coming. I'll show a picture of that in just a second. It says here, rewards skilled aim and immense power. Near silent firing mechanism lets you strike quietly and gain the upper hand on your foes. This will be a cool option for those that want to run stealth and get through some of those facilities quietly. Let's hope the NPCs can't hear the gun, the weapon as well. Let's hope that let's hope they don't launch the crossbow and it's like the loudest weapon in the game. Clark Kent, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. The FPS weapons art refactor coming in. Again, updating visual material and textures for the following weapons and equipment: the Dead Rig Shotgun, Castac Arms Custodian, the Ravager, the Scalpel, the Coda, and the Devastator. We've seen a weapons refactor go on before. The Tailwind Flight Suit, really cool flight suit coming to the PU. And then, interesting one here, item recovery vehicle loadouts, adding the ability for players to save and claim vehicle loadouts via the ASOP terminals. Claimed vehicles and their components will now be bricked after some time. It includes a major refactor of the entitlement service and extension of the item imprint system to ensure player-owned vehicles persist reliably. Art, how do you read into this?
We're getting well. First of all, the age of duping items is coming to an end.
Coming to an end, yeah. Because this is tying into the entitlement side of our accounts, yeah.
all of the Idrises that are, the Idris owners of the M's that have the railguns that have been selling their railguns for several million. So long.
Yeah.
That definitely gonna see less of that. I mean, you're gonna see a lot less of any of that kind of stuff coming in. So,
Mhm.
but the loadout thing is nice. We're gonna kind of maybe see a loadout persistence coming across. I am curious how they're gonna work with components that you're picking up from executive hangars
Yeah.
and contested zones. How that's going to, when I say that loadout, how is that going to get antiquated? Are they tagging them better so that they cross over?
Hmm.
Because we tend to lose those quite a bit. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see how the first iteration kind of works.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I'm assuming this is tying into crafted components as well. Like, I think that's a
Yep.
big part of the reason we're seeing this as part of 4.8 is those new crafted components, which we're going to talk about here in a second. By the way, calling up a couple of donations, Reaper 2057 with that $30 donation. Thank you very much. Swan 547 with that $60 donation towards the merchantman. And Chuck McAwesome, always awesome, $30 donation towards the merchantman. Again, remember everyone, we'll do that merchantman raffle here at the end of the stream tonight. Okay, we got a great showing, great turnout tonight. 216 on Twitch, amazing, and 204 on YouTube. That's incredible, everyone. 418 of you watching. That is amazing. Thank you very much for showing up tonight and hanging out. Don't forget, I'm also doing a giveaway for the high sec bundle. If you've been wanting to get one of those, I'm giving one of those away tonight. If you're over on YouTube, all you got to go is to the link pinned to the chat. That is my new player guide video. Leave a comment on that video. It can be a single word, hi, hello, how are you, whatever. I'm going to pull a random comment from there. And then if you're on Twitch, it's exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket space max. I'm going to pull that winner. And then we're going to put you both in the random wheel of names and we're going to spin it. And when we spin it, the winner of that spin will win the high sec bundle. Okay. That comes with the really cool wolf paint. It's like a carbon fiber paint, really slick, the matching armor and the sniper rifle. Okay. So thank you very much. Now, let me go back to, where's my roadmap roundup? Yeah, so I'm really interested in this. Again, it's pretty much tied to the I think the custom craftable components that we're now getting with 4.8. Again, 4.8 bringing on a lot of new blueprints and the ability to craft a lot of new things, including backpacks, ship components and all that. And there's some really I've seen a lot of conversation in the community centered around the ship component thing. It looks like that is going to be really, really popular with people. Oh my goodness. Loken Plays just rated with 301 viewers. Loken, I hope you're well,
legend.
buddy. What a legend. Thank you very much. You know what? That deserves a double salute. Loken,
And
buddy.
bean.
And a bean, yes. Loken, giving you the old double salute, buddy. Hope your stream went well. Let's give Loken a shout out if we haven't already, Art.
Get out of my
Loken,
head.
thank you very much. Loken, I hope you had a great time tonight. Hope you had a great stream. Not sure what you got up to. We are doing Star System discussion, talking 4.8 leaks, talking all kinds of stuff. We're going to deep dive the Banu Merchantman here in a bit. Just so everyone knows, since we just had a bunch of raiders come in the channel, though, I just talked about this, but we'll talk about it again. We're doing a high sec bundle giveaway tonight. All you got to do if you're over on Twitch is exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket space max to get tickets for that. Follow the channel. If you don't follow the channel, please, I do appreciate that. In addition to doing this giveaway, we are currently doing a Banu Merchantman raffle drawing tonight. How do you get in on that raffle drawing? Well, it's very simple. StarJump is participating in St. Jude Play Live, raising money for sick kids battling cancer and getting treatment at St. Jude Hospital. Our good buddy GearCon in chat has offered up a number of ships that we're going to be raffling off. We've already given away several, a Perseus, a Mercury Star Runner. And tonight, on April 22nd, which is tonight, we're raffling off the Banu Merchantman. If you want to get a ticket for any one of these raffles, all you got to do is scan the QR code or go to the Tiltify link that will come up in chat right now. Just go to that Tiltify link, $30 donation towards the Merchantman raffle will get you a ticket for that. We're going to do that drawing here shortly. On April 29th, which is next Wednesday, we're going to do 2 big raffles. $35 donation towards the STARJUMP Tiltify link, you get a ticket for a Hammerhead. And a $60 donation gets you a ticket for an RSI Polaris. Okay, doing both of those raffles next week on the 29th. Now, we got a whole bunch more ships coming in May. You'll have to wait a little bit to get what those ships are. However, we're doing the Masters of Industry raffle. Okay, big shout out to GearCon for this. $100 donation to St. Jude Children's Hospital through the STARJUMP Tiltify link. We'll get you a ticket. You can apply that that donation to the Masters of Industry raffle. It contains all the ships you see there: the Consolidated Outland Pioneer, the Arastra, the Hull B, the Golem, the Vulture, the Mole, the Reclaimer, and the C2 Hercules, all in one bundle for you. All those ships will become yours if you win the raffle. How cool is that? A whole limited ship, the Pioneer. Everyone wants it. Everyone needs it. Okay. Anyways, thank you very much, Logan, for bringing your community up here, buddy. I do appreciate you. I appreciate you entrusting your viewers over here. Again, we are talking all kinds of stuff tonight. We're about to go into some ship talks. We're doing beans. Yes, we got to do some beans here. We've had, thank you for all the follows, everyone. Again, if you haven't followed the channel, please do. If you don't know what STARJUMP is, we do all kinds of content. We can go to STARJUMP Fleet Viewer or Hangar.link if you've ever used STARJUMP Fleet Viewer. Myself, VMXEO in chat, and STARJUMP Starlet are the makers of Fleet Viewer, so you can get in on, if you've never tried it out, go over to starjumpfleetviewer.com, check that out. You can visualize your fleets, all that kind of cool stuff. So please support the channel. Appreciate it. All right, it's bean time. Is it bean time? Is that what we're doing?
That's bean time. Roll the clip.
All right, let's go to bean time. Where's it at? Where's the bean time clip? And the Kraken's going across the screen. Thank you for those follows, everyone. Persuaded Terror, if I can talk right. Sycus and Warley, thank you for those follows. I appreciate you, everyone. It's time to do Bean Boozle for charity. These are beans that have 2 flavors for each one. So the bean will look the same, but there could be 2 flavors you get. One's a good flavor, one's a nasty flavor. Tiltify link, yes. Let me pop that Tiltify. There it is. There's the Tiltify link. All right, everyone. Going to grab my bean. We're doing a single bean real quick.
Yellow or red?
Oh, okay. I picked one. I've got the black one. Black.
Yellow or red?
Oh, go yellow. That's more dangerous. Black is either.
Thanks.
Yeah, black is either burnt rubber or licorice. Burnt rubber or licorice. I actually do like licorice, so hopefully this won't be too bad. What'd you get, Art?
I believe this is. See, I can't really tell because these colors don't necessarily 100% match.
Excuses.
But
Excuses.
I believe. I mean, it could be either. I'm leaning more towards barf or peach.
Barf or peach. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go, everyone. Thank you for your donations. You've been absolutely amazing tonight. So far for the month of April, we've raised $23,842 with a lifetime STARJUMP raised of $64,400 for St. Jude. Thank you very much, everyone. You're all amazing. Bottoms up. Nope. It's burnt rubber. Yep. I quickly identified that one as burnt rubber and not licorice. It was that quick.
This is stink bug. This is not okay. I wasn't even expecting this.
Yeah, not great. But I'm kind of getting used to burnt rubber, actually. Believe it or not. It's gross, but I'm like acclimating to it a little bit. We just had a $190 donation from Captain Kern towards the Merchantman, the Master of Industry pack, and possibly more. Captain Kern, thank you very much. Salute to you, buddy. Appreciate that massive donation. And then we just had a $35 donation come in from Northern Surge SC. Northern Surge, thank you very much. Towards the Aegis Hammerhead. Remember that ship going gold standard. We're now at $24,067. Everyone, we are a mere $1,000 away from our next milestone of $25,000. Incredible work, everyone. All right.
That was disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
That was absolutely disgusting.
Oh, Yep, that's not good. I can't get it out of my teeth either, so that's not a great thing. Real quick, everyone. For those of you joining from Loken's channel, I will point out I am also doing an ironclad giveaway. This one is completely free to enter. Completely free to enter. If you want to, I'll be giving this away on May 27th. If you want to win a Drake Ironclad, you can go to the Gleam link I'm posting down in chat. Gleam, and you see Drake Ironclad giveaway. Go there. Really easy to enter to win this thing. It's all free to enter. So get in on that if you want. If you're trying to get an Ironclad during DefenseCon, I will be giving one away with 120 months of insurance. So get in on it. Space Orc Gaming, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Drake Ironclad giveaway, or as we like to call it, the Dironclad. Get in on that while you can. Okay. Let's get back to our topic. Can't talk. I got burnt rubber in my mouth. Let me go back to my show notes. Actually, let's hit some questions real quick. And remember, if you have questions, you can just put the word question in brackets or whatever. The bot will pick it up. Okay. All right. A couple questions here. Zeliaz says, question, how will ship Maelstrom differ from battle damage already in game? Well, it's a good question. I mean, we think that ultimately what they've showed us with Maelstrom is the fracturing and breaking up of ships. So it's going to take into account shields, obviously, but then, of course, things like armor and stuff. But only this time, instead of one chunk breaking off and then your ship kind of detonating into 3 chunks and then it's soft death or death, it's going to start to break apart in much more smaller, more discrete bits, and it may add a whole other level of survivability to your ships, where it's not just like, okay, one piece breaks off, that's your sign that you're on the stepping stone to being destroyed, and then boom, you're dead. With the added Maelstrom thing, I think you're going to be able to lose discrete parts of your ship, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays into the damage model. We've seen that in the we've seen that in the stuff they showed at CitizenCon 2 years ago, but we haven't gotten a further update on it. Think destructible environments, but for ships. And actually, it'll affect environments as well. So bases and all that stuff will have Maelstrom on it too. It's supposed to be a pretty systemic system that just works. CIG hasn't updated us on it in a while. It is in Squadron 42 and is being sort of moved over into Star Citizen. Okay, so I'm eager to get an update to it. Yeah.
Well, the other thing is right now, currently the battle system is it's all numbers.
Yeah.
And it's something that kind of just moves as they make it move. And you don't really know that you're out of armor unless you're really paying attention and looking at the screen to tell you you're out of armor.
Yeah.
This one will actually, with you taking hits and stuff, that armor plating is going to flake off, and you're going to be like, oh, I need to roll my ship this way because the armor is off on my port side, so I need to roll starboard and kind of keep my port side out of it as best I can.
Yeah. It's what we don't know too much about yet is we don't know how Maelstrom is going to tie in to things like engineering, into things like we just got another raid. Who we raid? We got a raid from Dad Bod Bard TV 07. Thank you very much, Dad Bard, sending a raid over here. We do appreciate you, buddy. Let's do a shout out for Dad Bod Bard TV. Thank you very much, Art. Hope your stream went well, buddy. A lot of money coming in tonight. It's good stuff.
I got some.
It's good stuff.
Some of his fixins.
Yes.
Send him some fixins.
Yeah, send him some Lester's fixins. Yeah.
I did.
Community really pulling out all the stops here with donations tonight, everyone, and we do really appreciate it. Again, the generosity everyone has shown is incredible. I forget the exact number we raised last year. I think, Ender, you can look it up, but I do know when we hit 25,000, we will officially have raised more than we made last year in all of the 2 months of last year. So we're tracking really good. Again, that is all due to everyone in chat. So if you're in chat, being here, watching the content, donating, salute to you. You are what is making this happen. Okay. And we do really appreciate it. Over on YouTube, we got a couple subscriptions. Thank you, everyone. William Ribeiro, Krasark, thank you very much. Again, we are very close to 17,000 on YouTube, and that is exciting. Electrawolf, thank you for the follow. GearCon says it was 24,315, I believe. Yeah, so we're really close. We're really close to eclipsing last year, which is great. We're on a great roll, and again, it's all due to this community. Let's go to the next question here. I'm marking Banu Merchantman questions because we'll come back to those. I'm marking them with an angry Chris Roberts emote. Dillman94 says, question, thoughts on other manufacturers making command modules, maybe an Origin passenger transport command module that can connect to the Ironclad? Well, that's an interesting thought. And here's what I hope. I do hope that, let's see. Oh, okay. Dad Bob Bard says, Grim, we're $18 away from beating last year. Everyone, we are $18 away from beating last year, and we're only on April 22nd. We still have a whole other month and 10 days to go. Give yourselves a big 07 in chat. We are $18 away from our crazy last year goal, which is incredible. Thank you very much. Why are the closed captions on? Okay. That's incredible. Yeah. So I think, I don't know what you think about this, but I think that it would be really cool to see other, and there it is. Rage 1. I should have suspected Rage 1. Rage 1 coming in with a $100 donation towards the Master of Industry pack, which send us up to $24,197. Unbelievable, everyone. And there's going to be bald and beardless before you know it. Bald and beardless before you know it. It will happen.
And I'm here for it.
Yes. I want his whole body shorn. That's the word I'm going to use. Shorn and cold. That's what we want. So yes, thank you very much for that, Rage 1. Do appreciate you. Love this community. You are all amazing. I hope we get other command module type parasites from other manufacturers. The big question, though, is will one manufacturer's command module connect with another manufacturer's command module? That remains to be seen. I do think the answer to that is no. Okay. And the only reason I think that is that the way that the Ironclad and the Drake command module attaches to that ship does have kind of a unique shape. There is the airlock door, yes, but there's an actual piece around that, sort of like a collar that connects, that is a bit unique to those two ships. As a matter of fact, they carried that shape over from the Caterpillar into the Ironclad. And I can't see that shape language filtering into like, Origin or some other manufacturer. So it could be that command modules are limited to the manufacturer, right? So if Origin comes up with one, then it will connect to an Origin thing. I don't know, Art, if you agree with that, but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is, they're very good about taking a something that's very unique to a certain manufacturer and then moving it over to another very quickly.
Yeah.
And just change the design language at a different job. So we were talking about maybe like getting a possible refueler that some people suspected might be Origin or something like that. Like I could see a command module for that for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Real quick, Mac in chat just asked me a question on the Gleam link for the Ironclad giveaway. He's saying that there's one that just takes him to the RSI referral page. Yes, that's how it works. You don't have to actually do a referral through me. It just requires you to visit the page, which is really cool. So again, you don't have to spend any money to get in on the Ironclad giveaway. It's totally free. It's just coming out of my hangar. If you're already a follower, when you click on that option, it will detect that you're a follower. So you don't have to unfollow or anything. Next question. Oh, what happened here? My questions jumped all around. Big shout out to Piggles, by the way, for the question bot. It is awesome. Next question. This one's from Killer Tank. Question, with there being 10 seats on the command module, it will not be quick to deploy or board using the ladder. Yeah, that's true. And that's partially because it's not technically a drop ship. So you can't expect it to be to have quick in and out like a dropship would have. However, that doesn't prevent people from using it as a dropship. It's small, it's easily carryable by other ships because it's kind of narrow. It doesn't have like big wings, and it's not wide like a Valkyrie or anything like that. So it's like a really small, stubby dropship. Kind of a pain in the ass to get out of, yes, but people will still use it for that for sure.
I think in space it'll be better used.
Yeah. Luke says, question, do you know if the Golem and the Golem Ox fit inside the Ironclad hold? Yes, they fit inside the Ironclad hold quite easily, actually. So you'll be able to fit a few of those in there. I've brought that up on stream before. I've done I brought up some 3D so people could see what that looked like. But yes, you'll easily be able to fit your Golem, probably even 2 to 3 Golems in the Ironclad with no problem, maybe even 4. Diggs129 just donated $30 towards a merchantman. Diggs, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Okay, next question here. Ticking through some of these questions. This is great. Again, if you asked a Banu merchantman question, I'm probably going to circle back to that when we talk about the merchantman here shortly. Let's see here. Inkisunune, I'm always having trouble saying that. Sorry, buddy. Says the question, the Expanse Osiris Reborn just launched their beta today, which you can buy into by pre-ordering the game. If CIG doesn't start marketing soon, could Expanse steal some thunder from Squadron 42? You know, I hadn't thought about that. I think in all honesty, yes, it could steal a little bit of thunder from Squadron 42. From what I've seen of Dead Osiris game, it looks really good. Like the graphics quality is really good. I think the gameplay will be a lot more accessible than Squadron 42. And that's not a dig at Squadron 42. I just think Squadron 42 is going to have a level of depth that the Expanse game doesn't have. So the simpler gameplay is definitely going to appeal to a certain type of player. Diggs, by the way, says, no problem. Always love your content. Mostly watch your videos on YouTube. Awesome. Thank you very much, Diggs. Appreciate that, buddy. So I think it could suck a little oxygen out of the room, but I don't think it's going to be like a death nail for Squadron or anything. It's just yet another game people will have to consider. But again, at the same time, I think Squadron is later this year personally. So hopefully we'll be a little out of pocket for.
And amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I'm expecting a much higher level AAA experience from Squadron than I am the Expanse game. No, that's not a hit against the Expanse game. I love the Expanse. The game looks pretty badass, but it's an IP tie-in game. I think it's going to be pretty cool, be a fun distraction. But I think what's gone into Squadron with the level of talent involved, the actors and the storyline stuff, I am expecting a much bigger experience. So I could be wrong. That's what I'm thinking. Lost Cavalier says, with regards to the Aegis Tiburon, do you think it will be a pilot-controlled laser or will be a manned laser turret? Well, but you know what? As we're going into that, let's talk a bit about the Tiburon. Let's go into some of the ships that have been sort of rumored for Invictus launch week. Now, this is some of the ship names that have come out in the files. Obviously, the Aegis Tiburon. Tiburon is Spanish for shark. Jared had mentioned in an Inside Star Citizen that there was a shark with laser beam type ship coming on, so everyone assumes it's a Hammerhead variant with laser beams. Kind of interesting. We'll go into my thoughts on that. The Kruger S-65 Stingray, that's all we know, but it'll be a new Kruger ship. Again, personally, I'm hoping for an Eclipse competitor. We've also heard of the MISC Starlight, light refueling ship, likely using Starfarer refueling pods, but maybe less of them. Maybe it's just one of those pods or two of those pods. And then obviously we've heard of the command module. You all know about the Ironclad. And then of course the battle cruisers. So those are the ships that are kind of circling around a little bit. I could possibly throw in the Javelin as being a maybe ship for Invictus. I think it's highly unlikely. But if you all remember, I was one of the first ones that brought it up to say maybe. I do think that CIG, I think it's probably a situation where they could release the Javelin during Invictus. I think it makes more sense for them to hold it back and have that as a ship that goes flight ready alongside Squadron's release. Makes a lot more sense. Now, not because a lot of people even add the Javelin, but it's like, hey, we're releasing Squadron 42 and we're taking this big backlog bucket list ship off and putting it in game 2. Again, it's kind of like 2 wins, right? Meathead Militia says we don't have the gameplay for the Javelin yet. Possibly don't. I mean, maybe it could fit into future iterations of tactical strike groups, especially if they bring in even bigger Vandal ships. And remember, the Vandal Mauler is, as a matter of fact, I can bring that up real quick. Where is it? I'll bring this up. Stand by, everyone. Where is it? I'll bring this video up real quick. Remember, the Mauler, which you're seeing here in the middle, it is slightly bigger than a Javelin, right? Slightly bigger than a Javelin. So that we could get to a point where they release Tactical Strike Groups V2, where maybe there's 2 Maulers, or it's a Mauler and a Hunter, or 2 big Vandal ships, and then it would start to make sense to have possibly a Javelin in there. Maybe they want to do maybe there'll be other, I do think there'll be other tactical strike groups than the one that we're getting now. I think there's going to be others. Maybe there's going to be one about that is centered on just like everyone in the group manning a single large capital. Because I think that would be a good test too. You bring a bunch of people into an instance thing and you're all aboard one massive capital engaging another massive capital.
I do wonder if these tactical strike groups are actually going to compound on one another. So the fact that the Vandal are showing up at the end of this one, does that mean the next one we're going to go punch them back?
Yeah. I wonder about that too, because remember, the Mauler is not the only Vandal ship we found entity references to in the client. So this obviously is the Hunter. Yeah, this is the Mauler here. I'll bring up this graphic from the Squadron 42 newsletter. This is the Mauler up here, okay? Listed as a cruiser, 486 meters long. That's the ship you saw there in that video just now. But another ship that was referenced is the one down here, the Hunter, which you see right here. It is a Corvette, 419 meter long Corvette. That's a big damn Corvette, by the way.
I think it's a missile thrower. I think it's a torpedo boat.
I do too. It actually kind of even looks to have that shape where up here you could see multiple, big missile. But here's the thing. If this thing is 419 meters long, I mean, we're talking not quite Javelin scale, but up there. I start to wonder if this thing fires like size 11, 12 torpedoes. Because remember,
I would expect it to be 12s or higher.
The Javelin fires size 12 torpedoes. So I would expect this to fire size 12 or something equivalent, By the way, these scales, just so everyone knows, these scales are not relative. So for example, the Hunter is not this size compared to the Kingship. They've shrunk the Kingship down a lot. So the Hunter's 419 meters. The Kingship is 3,445 meters. Okay, so again, not to scale. Okay, when this thing comes in the picture, it's going to blot out the sun. Same thing with the Driller here. The Driller is 2,260 meters long. That's twice the length of the Bengal. It's important to remember that. Twice the length of the Bengal. Okay. So yeah. Size 20 torps win, Vioblite says. I don't know. It's a good question.
Battle cruiser.
Yeah. Battle cruiser if it fires
Bengal.
torps.
Bengal, maybe.
Bengal. The Bengal has the big destroyer cannons, whatever they're called.
Right.
I forget what they're called.
Well, I wonder if we're going to get with the blueprints on that. I wonder if we're going to get kits that I can take my Bengal and I can build it differently so that not all the Bengals are the same. So if I want to build it more like a light carrier, I'll go a certain route with it versus if I wanted to build it like a brawler and a light cruiser, I might build it a different way.
Yeah.
Speculation, complete speculation there. No evidence to that at all. Just speculation.
Yeah, and real quick, everyone, I'll point something out that a lot of people don't realize Now, our last information on this is accurate, but CIG could change it. Again, take everything with a grain of salt. You'll notice that the Javelin here has a quad turret up here and a quad turret down here. Now, these turrets rotate around and go to the top and bottom of the ship. Just so everyone knows, this is the PU version of the Javelin, which does have quad size 9 top turret, quad size 9 bottom turret. The Squadron 42 Javelin is slightly different. Its top turret is a dual size 10 and its bottom turret is a dual size 10. So, and expect some additional differences between the PU Javelin and the Squadron 42 Javelin. Just putting that out there in case anyone had seen the Squadron 42 Javelin and noticed some differences. There are some differences. So just so everyone knows. Okay, let's see here. 1 second. Okay. What else are we talking about here? So we talked about those ships. Let's go back to those questions real quick here. We're going to take a few more questions, and then we're going to start talking about the Banu Merchantman here for a little bit. Art, I figure we got about another 50 minutes. Are you good?
I can hold on.
Okay. If you got to go, you got to go. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
I've not heard any cries for help yet,
Okay.
so I think we're good. He should be in bed by now.
Okay.
If he's not, I'm gonna have to go.
You got to go dad mode. Everyone heard me go dad mode just yesterday. Apparently, I did not mute the mic, and everyone heard me yelling to my daughter that the Raising Cane's food had arrived. So, all right, here we go.
The best thing to yell at your kid, though, too, is like, "Hey, food's here."
Yes.
Not like, "Quit being a knucklehead. Stop picking your nose."
Yes, exactly.
Why are you awake?
Put some videos on here. We'll play the smaller video here as we're talking. Question. This is from Eagle0013. Question. Saw the new Kruger is a 60 series. Was wondering if the 20 would be small, 40 would be medium, and 60 would be large. So obviously with the L21 Wolf, L22 Alpha Wolf, this is an L6 or this is an S65 Stingray that we know we're getting. Possibly Eagle. I hadn't really thought about that delineation. It is possible they could do something similar to an Origin sort of thing with their naming conventions. So it's very possible. I don't know. Now you got me wondering though. So very possible. Jaybird Max's question: while blades are fantastic in their own right, will we still be getting a NPC AI crew? Art, you want to answer that one?
1.0. Post 1.0. They've already come out and said that. Now we don't know much more than that. And I did hear one thing from watching It's JoJo's 4.8 video that I linked to you. I don't know if you...
I did watch it.
Got a chance to watch it. But he mentions like the pilot leaving the hangar, and we have to escort him out of that hangar in that tactical... tactical strike group. So I was a little disappointed to hear that it was just the pilot and in a hangar on a ship leaving. I was really hoping that we were going to get the whole crew, loading them up in a ship and getting ready to go. Right,
because we talked about that on a previous stream. How are they going to do the rescue side of that? So the pilot actually flies out in their own ship.
Yeah, and I heard it's like a freelancer, if I remember correctly. So not a great ship to fly out of during a fight.
He's not flying out to help you, is what you're saying?
No, he's running away. And you got to escort him out.
Lovely.
But it was a great video by It's JoJo, by the way. Absolutely good video.
Yeah.
4.8.
Yeah, thank you, It's JoJo. Hope you're doing well. We're going to get JoJo on an episode here soon. That is the plan. Couple more questions here. We got a ton of questions, everyone. I'm not going to be able to answer all these tonight either, but I do want to circle over to the Banu Merchantman here in just a short bit to kind of lead into our Banu Merchantman raffle tonight. Okay, and we'll do our giveaway. Got a giveaway and a raffle drawing tonight. J Bird Max. Oh, nope, we answered that one already. Stand by. GearCon says, "Hey Art." Nope, we already answered that. Let's keep going. Swan 547. Actually, nope, skipped one. Pre-Hull says, "Quick question. What's the tech behind Fleet Viewer? It's well optimized and lightweight. Thank you very much." I will make sure that question gets sent to Starlet. I'm sure she will like hearing that. Starlet does all that kind of back end tech for Fleet Viewer. I can tell you it's built using Flutter. I don't know much about it because I'm an idiot with that stuff. Me and VMXEO kind of deal with all the imagery, all the ship images and all that kind of stuff. All that stuff gets conformed and packaged up, sent over to Starlet, who integrates it into the experience. So yeah, I will make sure to pass that along to her. She'll like hearing that. Swan547 says, question, would you consider adding the Mauler to StarJump Fleet Viewer when it's added to the PU? Absolutely. We're already doing that, or it's part of the plan. We're going to add any new ship that comes in any new build, it will eventually is going to go to Fleet Viewer for sure. Hagglers, thank you for the follow. Yep. Let's see here. So yes, absolutely doing that. Got a couple BMM questions. Should we swing over to the BMM?
I think we should swap to the BMM.
Might be time to talk about the BMM.
I think we've beat this horse.
We have. We've answered a lot of questions here. We're going to swing over to the BMM, though. I got a lot of videos I can kind of let loop here for a minute. We'll let this one play for a second here. We're going to be talking about the Banu Merchantman here, everyone. We did have some questions about the Merchantman. I'll swing back to these as we sort of go through it. Now, everyone knows we're doing a Banu Merchantman raffle drawing today. Scan the QR code, go to the Tiltify link you see down chat, do your $30 donation towards StarJump St. Jude Play Live via the Tiltify link. You can click on the Merchantman raffle and get in on that. Okay. So what is the Merchantman for those of you that are maybe new to Star Citizen? The Merchantman is a very old concept indeed. This is a ship that is an alien ship, Banu ship. It is a marketplace ship. It is a ship that eventually you're going to be able to run NPC driven stores out of. So they'll have like little storefronts inside the ship. NPCs and players alike will be able to visit the ship and purchase items from there. Now, if you're one of those people wondering, NPCs visiting my ship and buying things off it, is that even possible? We don't know. We hope so. We hope so. But SVL75 with the $30 donation towards the Merchantman. Thank you very much, everyone. By the way, everyone, just so you know, the raffle for the Merchantman is going to be live for about 30 more minutes. In about 30 minutes, I'm going to turn that one off, and I'm going to start getting all the winners who've bought tickets prepped, and I'm going to put it in the random wheel of names. So you've only got about 30 more minutes to get in on this drawing. Okay. You can buy more than one ticket by donating more, $60 gets you 2 tickets, $90 gets you 3 tickets. Okay. Real quick, I will tell you the odds. I know someone was curious about that. And since we got 30 minutes left of donations, I'll give you the odds. Stand by. Okay. What are the odds? I can tell you how many tickets have been purchased. There have been 101 tickets purchased. Okay. So if you buy one ticket, you have a 1 in 100 chance of winning. Okay. That's not bad. Okay. Not bad. Get in on it. If you buy 5 tickets, you get a 5% chance. 20 tickets, 20% chance. Okay. This is for a Banu Merchantman. Okay. So again, the ship has undergone a lot of changes to its concept. The model you see orbiting the screen here right now, never tell me the odds. The new the model you see orbiting the screen right now is the most latest concept model. Okay, the ship did go into active production a while back. Okay. There were a lot of changes, okay? Those new specifications, which are going to pop up on screen here, are as follows, okay? All right, we'll let it play up here, okay? The beam is 203 meters long. The ship grew substantially with a height of 80 meters when fully extended and a length of 232 meters, okay? Almost as long as an Idris. Almost as long as an Idris. Probably not quite as big on the inside as an Idris, though. Maybe close, though. Maybe close. Okay. The ship grew, I think originally it was something like 160, 170 meters long, maybe 150, somewhere around that period. So it did grow pretty substantially as happens with concept ships, honestly, when they're sort of going through reconcepting. Okay. Going through some of its specifications here. Again, a lot of this is unknown because the ship was in active development and then that was paused. But again, the ship is, at least last we heard, we're going to have 2 size 8 remote turrets, 1 dual size 7 man turret, 4 size 3 point defense turrets. I imagine that will get upped quite a bit, honestly. And then it had a cargo capacity of 2,880. So again, sitting slightly above the Ironclad's cargo capacity. I think Ironclad's at 2,200 SCU, something around there. This sitting slightly above that. Not quite as much cargo as something like a Kraken or a hull D or even a hull C, but sitting kind of nicely right above an Ironclad. Okay. Going a little bit further here, kind of do the little cross-section play here. We'll take away, again, this is the last known concept, okay? This could get completely reconcepted, or CIG could just pick back up from where they left off, okay? Dual size 8 guns can fold into the front of the ship and be concealed, which is really nice. You can see the front landing gear here. It's kind of interesting. Landing gears are physicalized on these ships, so they do take up room. A little bit of storage up at the front of the ship, docking collar, which will come out the port and starboard sides of the ship. Obviously, the cargo control room. This is to overlook the main cargo area that you see there with all the boxes and the Tumbrel Cyclone. That cargo control room is where you're going to control tractor beams and all that kind of good stuff. Think of that as like the control room on the Ironclad where you're going to move cargo around, same sort of deal. And you can see it's a pretty big primary cargo bay. The ship does have like a zero gravity, anti-gravity like elevator system based off Xeon tech that can lower. Moving a little bit onward, we got the main hangar. Again, this is designed around the Banu Defender. So when the Banu Defender is folded up, it can fit inside this hangar. Much like the Kraken and much like the Karakin stuff, the hangar is built around specific ships, okay? Turn down the AC and Logos Prime with $30 donations. Thank you very much. Moving on through the ship. Let's move up here a little bit. We have the public entrance. Now, when NPCs and players visit your ship stores to buy and sell things, they will come through the public entrance. There is a separate entrance for crew. So they don't have to use the same entryway, which is kind of cool. This is the elevator system here that will take you to all the primary decks that the public can access. Lazy Donuts with a $60 donation towards a merchantman. Thank you very much. We have Marketplace 1 and 2, again, where the main rung of stores and marketplaces are at or located within the ship. I think it has a total of 8. We have some guest tabs. I imagine that area will be expanded to some degree once the ship goes into production. A large conference room for business deals and the like. Kind of one of those RP sort of rooms in the ship. We've seen other ships with rooms like that. I don't know if they'll have much gameplay function other than just meeting people. This is that back elevator shaft for the crew entrance, if you were wondering where that was. Large engineering section. We've seen some previews of the engineering section. CIG at the time was really excited about what they were doing in there before they paused development. The sanctuary, which is kind of a unique space for this ship built around the Banu culture. Be interesting to see that. The mess hall, habs, medical, all sort of contained in this big communal area. We've seen some previews of that and some of their white box work as well. We'll see some of that. Of course, the bridge area. The ship's got a really interesting bridge layout. And then, of course, the big man turret that CIG has showed off a few times that raises out of the top tower of the ship. Pretty cool. So, yes, very big ship, very big interior. Go into here, you can see the old ship versus the new ship. Again, the old Banu Merchantman coming in at 160 meters. New one has grown to 232 meters. Now, a lot of people have wondered, why did this ship go into production and then out of production? And the reason is quite simple. This ship was being overseen by Paul Jones. Hey, Colby Butler with a $30 donation. Thank you very much. Paul Jones was overseeing the development of this ship along with several other artists. Paul Jones eventually left CIG and went to Ubisoft. When that happened, the CIG ship team actually dropped to its lowest number ever at that time, I think 14 people. So CIG paused this ship because all the institutional design knowledge that was going into the ship had left the studio. CIG then set upon rebuilding the ship teams, which we have seen over the last 3 years, and it has grown substantially. I mean, the last reports we got, the ship team's up to like 60, 70 some odd people now. John Crew recently told us, for example, that they are possibly looking to send this ship back into pre-production as soon as the end of this year. And what I think that will mean for the Banu Merchantman is that it will go into sort of a reconcepting where they will take the ship where it's currently at, do a pass on it, see what works, see what doesn't. Again, a lot of new stuff has come to the game since this ship was in production. They'll look at what's viable, what's not viable, and then from there, they will determine if a lot of the ship needs to change. I do imagine a lot of the interior will have to be switched up a bit. I think the exterior, there was a lot of good player feedback from that. I think players were generally excited about the new Banu Merchantman exterior. There were some people that wish it looked like previous bits of concept art, but I do think in general, there was a positive reaction to the ship's exterior design. So I actually don't see that changing much. I see more detail coming to it because CIG has raised the bar on capital ship detail since this ship was being worked on. So yeah, I mean, again, I think this ship is going to go through a bit of a reconcepting like the Kraken has gone through, where it's not a complete rework. It's still going to look like the Banu Merchantman, but they're going to make decisions inside the ship. For example, the conference room. I could see the conference room shrinking a bit and other more important rooms expanding. We heard CIG take that approach with the Kraken where they said some non-useful rooms were going to get shrunk and more gameplay affecting rooms were going to get more prominence put on them. So I can see some of that happening with the Merchantman. I think there was some confusion amongst the community that the Merchantman had gotten really far in its development. And from everything I have heard, again, if you, for those of you old STARJUMP people, you'll know that we had Paul Jones on STARJUMP Shipyard and interviewed him. From everything I have heard that the Banu Merchantman essentially got to kind of a initial gray box phase and then was paused. And it didn't get any further than that. And there was apparently quite a few areas of the ship that were still very, very much in white box. And you got to remember, at this point in time, white box was different for CIG. It was actually a lot more simplified geometry. CIG has now, their new approach to white box is a higher level of fidelity than what they previously did. So I think you could probably firmly put the entire ship in a white box state when they were working on it. I really don't think it progressed much more than that. As a matter of fact, this room here is the room that made it the furthest. Okay. This was another update they gave us in 2953. Now they prefaced this by saying that the ship had not made any new progress, but they just wanted to kind of reintroduce us to the progress that had been made on the ship up to that point. And again, still sitting firmly in that white box phase. Now, famous last words, taking bets on when a ship will go in production. But if you were to ask me when this ship or will this ship go back into production anytime soon, I'll be honest with you. I am actually pretty positive I've call it hopium, I guess, but I'm pretty positive in thinking that the ship will go into production or into pre-production later this year. I actually do think that is something they're going to do. I mean, famous last words.
The biggest issue with the Merchantman.
Let's get some audio playing. Famous last words, right? That could definitely not happen. But I think the reason John Cruz said that is because I think it's kind of already in the cards. Okay. Colby Butler, Eagle0013. Thank you for those donations. Appreciate everyone.
I think the other thing is we're now in the age of trading. We're in the age of building things.
Yeah.
And they've been talking about how they want us to start, trading.
Yeah.
And they've already mentioned the player markets and all that stuff that they're looking forward to. This is a good stepping stone towards that.
Yeah.
This
Thank you,
is
Sergeant Prick.
something that goes right off of that I think would be a good use for the ship, is to, hey, we don't have bases set up yet where we can do trading there,
Yeah.
but we have stalls set up that you can go and buy.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that is, with the Kraken coming in, like I think, I don't know how much farther behind the privateer will be on that, but if this progresses well, I can see that the privateer following pretty closely.
Yeah. G Philly and Draken Oakley, thank you for the follows. And big shout out to Twisted Void, $130 donation towards a Merchantman and Master of Industry pack. Twisted Void, thank you very much. Salute to you. Now up to $24,567 with a STARJUMP lifetime raise of $65,125. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Some people have asked me, hey, Jade Star Watcher, I hope you're well. Some people have asked me, if the Merchantman's going into development, obviously the Kraken Privateer's got to go into development. The only caveat to that is that I do think CIG would release the Merchantman before Marketplace gameplay is ready, simply because CIG has also referred to the Merchantman as a cargo hauler, and it carries a substantial amount of cargo. What was it, 2,700 SCU or something like that? So this ship absolutely could be used to haul cargo while waiting on the Marketplace gameplay to come along, because I do think the Marketplace gameplay is a ways away. The Kraken Privateer doesn't really have that luxury. I think its SCU carry capacity on the Privateer drops all the way to like 600 SCU of cargo. So now you're talking about a massive capital ship that hauls around 600 SCU of cargo. So there's less impetus to put the Kraken Privateer in production. Now here's the thing for you Privateer lovers. The Privateer, just because the Drake Kraken's going into work, a lot of work for the Privateer's happening. You know what I mean? A lot of work is happening for the Privateer. Now, there are some major differences interior-wise on the Privateer versus the base Kraken, but again, a lot of work happening there that will help with the Privateer's development. Okay.
About 6 minutes for that raffle.
Cool. Thank you very much. $40 from Anonymous. Thank you very much, everyone. I get about 5 minutes left to donate to this raffle, okay? And then I'm going to shut the raffle down and prep it for the drawing, okay? So do appreciate all the donations coming in. You have about 5 minutes left. Scan the QR code. Go to the Tiltify link if you want to have a chance at this. Your odds are pretty good. Your odds are pretty good on this one. This will be for a Banu Merchantman courtesy of our good buddy GearCon. GearCon in chat, everyone give him an 07. Appreciate that, GearCon, really showing up with some amazing ships. You can see right here in the video, by the way, in this video I rendered, you'll see a tiny little dot down there. That's a player character. A tiny little speck of a pixel. This is a big ship. Okay, this is Idris level size. Okay, APOC, wow, with a $30 donation. Thank you very much towards a Merchantman. Appreciate it, everyone. Remember, you can get multiple tickets. Don't hesitate. Here's what we're going to do. When I shut down the raffle for this, and I'm prepping the raffle, we're going to talk a little bit about the battle cruiser at that point. Okay. I know a lot of people, there's been a lot of Odin discussion lately. There was a AI created image of the battle cruiser that came out. A lot of people thought it was real. I'm still seeing people say it was real. It's not real. I can confirm it's not real. I've been told it's not real by people that would know. But it is still cool to look at, and I think it's got some really interesting design aesthetics. So we'll go into that. But yeah, about another minute or two left here on this raffle, everyone. So get your donations in. Appreciate it. But let me ask you this, Art. Thoughts on the Merchantman? What is your opinion on this ship? I know you do a lot of big combat ops. Does a ship like the Merchantman interest you in any way?
No.
Look at that sad no.
Just sad.
You know when this glorious golden beast flies through the sky, you know you're gonna want one. You're gonna want one.
Possibly. I do hope that it is a gateway to alien style capital ships for sure. I would like to see a Banu combat ship outside of a fighter. I would like to see more of Banu, Shinon, those types of ships, that gives a little bit of variety out there.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, look, this is another reason why. Oh, Rich just came in with a $10 donation for a new toy for the hospital play areas. Rich, thank you very much. That is very generous of you. Appreciate that donation. You know, I've always looked at ships like this, especially ships I'm not into, and I actually do own the Banu Merchantman. I'm pretty excited for it. I generally don't like alien ships. But there's only two that I'm into. It's the Raylan and this one. I'm very excited for the Raylan as well. I own that one. But what I will say is the thing that excites me about the Merchantman is even if you don't own one, and this is kind of alluding what you were saying, even if you don't own one, even if you don't plan on owning one, you don't like it, it's going to be one of those ships that when you do come across one, landed at an outpost or flying around in the verse or something, it's going to be a cool moment. Even if you're not into it, you'll be like, oh, sweet, there's a Banu Merchantman. Those are pretty cool. Or one of those ships that when a new player comes into the game, they're flying their starter ship around and this thing makes a pass, or they fly their starter ship down to an outpost and this thing's parked out there. It's going to be one of those moments, just like when you see a Kraken or Raylin or any other of these wild ships sometimes. It's going to be one of those moments where you go, oh, wow, what is that? I need to show my friend this, or show a friend of mine who doesn't play this game, this crazy, huge, big alien ship. And I do think there's value in that for CIG. These big ships, even though they're not widely owned, Kraken, battlecruiser, javelins, all that stuff, is that they're still ships that get people's imagination going, right? Even if you have no intent on owning one. When I first got into Star Citizen, now I followed Star Citizen for a while, but I really started paying attention in 2019, right after the Kraken was unveiled. And I had no intention of buying one at that time. I had no intention of ever thinking I could get one, but it still made me excited. It still inspired me, right? So I think that's some of the value there. Okay. I'm going to shut down the Banu raffle so that I can get that prepped. Empty Split just came in with a last second Merchantman donation. Thank you very much, Empty. You got about 30 more seconds, everyone. Scan the QR code, go to the Tiltify link. Before I do that, I am going to say it, but yeah, didn't know it was a 30 minutes for Banu Merchantman. Oh, well, is what it, yeah, we're talking a little bit about Banu Merchantman. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. But I'm going to shut this down in about 30 seconds. While I do that, if you're expecting us to talk longer about it, sorry about that, Richard. Maybe we'll do a deeper breakdown of that at some point. I do have my Shipyard video on YouTube, though, which I will link here. And, let me grab that link now. I will link you. I'll put this in chat. I did an entire Shipyard video on this. I am going to take this video down soon, though, because it has an old sponsor in there that is persona non grata. Don't go to any of the sponsors listed on this video, by the way. But you can go to this YouTube link here and check out my Shipyard video, all on the Merchantman. But while I get the raffle ready, I'm going to bring up this image. Stand by. I'm going to bring up this image here. Art, maybe you can talk a little bit about this while I get the raffle ready. Maybe see if any kind of keep the conversation going around the battle cruiser in chat. Maybe what you're hoping for out of the battle cruiser, what your org would like to see, how you see it fitting into larger org fleet ops. Okay. And everyone, I am shutting down the Merchantman raffle now. So hopefully you're able to get in on it. And take it away, Art.
All right, so we're talking about the Odin that was recently just announced that's what the name is, and that's what we highly suspect is the battlecruiser, and or butts about it being the name of the battlecruiser.
It didn't book anything.
You good?
Yeah, you're good. I thought it docs, but it didn't because
you're mumbling to yourself.
I thought it docs for it, but it didn't because they're all cut off. So we're good.
Okay. I was like,
well, they're all cut off. So
that's normally not good when you start mumbling.
Yes, it normally isn't, but no, we're good. Good.
That's a panic moment.
We're good.
As for what I'm expecting, I honestly don't know, and I don't want to tenure my expectation too low or too rigid. CIG
Yeah.
has had a history of bringing some pretty interesting stuff out, kind of
Yeah.
out of left field that you're like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Like that absolutely, is what it should be. I would like, the image and stuff that you showed had a lot of information about command and control and stuff like that. But honestly, I hope that they don't leave the command and control for the battle cruiser. I think I would like to see it on some smaller capital vessels. There's areas for hologlobes on the Polaris. I would suspect that there's going to be some for the Kraken and everything else. So it would be a disappointment if the command and control that we saw in the Squadron trailer, if anything like that, would be tied to a battle cruiser specifically.
Yeah, because they've talked about this unique gameplay coming, and again,
right.
People like Execute and stuff have been told that what it brings is pretty exciting.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is,
which is also very vague.
Well, he's a vague man. I don't know.
Yes,
he's meant a few words. That Execute guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as for what we're kind of looking to do in the fleet with it, we have no idea. I think it's definitely going to be a post 1.0 ship.
Oh.
I think it's going to be something that's going to be used for kind of what we've discussed before, space station combat, assaulting other orgs.
Mm-hmm.
As for what actually, weapon systems it has on it, I hope it packs a punch, but I don't want it to just be a big gun either.
Yeah, same.
Big guns are at this point, we know what we're getting on well, we have a good idea what we're getting on the Javelin.
Mm-hmm.
We know what we have on the Idris. We have a pretty good idea what's coming on, in with the Bengal.
Mm-hmm.
A bigger ship with a bigger gun is kind of just meh at this point.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I want it to be something that kind of gets us excited again. You know what I mean? But we'll have to see. I am hoping that, it brings something that not only is a new feature, but I want it to tie into, org gameplay in some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is really an org ship, right? And I would like it to tie directly. So whatever that feature is, it's a feature that is useful for an org. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So, and by the way, everyone, I'm just getting some things ready here for our Merchantman drawing. Is everyone excited for the Merchantman drawing? Hopefully so. Hopefully so. I'm just getting a few things ready.
I mean, the amount of donations that we've had today alone on the Banu Merchantman has showed me that they're somewhat excited.
Yes, I am very excited as well. Okay. Let me switch over. Am I ready? I think we're ready. Are we ready? I think we're ready.
You are, brother.
Okay, everyone. Don't forget, we are doing a giveaway as well for the monthly bundle, which is that high sec bundle. Okay, so that giveaway we're doing as well. We'll do that right after the Merchantman. I know a lot of you are excited about the Merchantman giveaway. We've raised a ton of money. Okay, a ton of money tonight, which is really great. Thank you very much. We're up to $24,677. Do not forget, we have a number of ships still up for grabs, okay, for the month of April. Hammerhead and Polaris, those drawings will be next week, so you can still donate towards those. We still have a Perseus, I believe, that's up and available to donate to. It's not on this list here, but you can get in on that one. And then, of course, the Masters of Industry pack. So do not hesitate to donate money towards the St. Jude Play Live stuff, okay? All right, everybody. It's that time. The Banu...
Kirkon squeezed in a quick question. He was asking whether or not do we know if the ship is dockable and therefore, you can offline it. We have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know. That is a good question. We do not know.
I would say since the Bengal can't,
mm-hmm,
it's always around. I would say that the ship also is probably always around.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. I would agree. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what CIG says about that because it's a class of ship they haven't talked about in a long time. You know what I mean? It's above that Javelin. What is it? Class 6? I forget what they call it. But all right, everyone. we're spinning for the Banu Merchantman. If you got in on the Banu Merchantman raffle, good luck. These are all the tickets here. You have a chance. Here we go. We're going to do a countdown on
Is that
5.
the colorblind version?
This is, well, it took the colors from the logo. I don't know why. And there are some blank spaces. Those are not names. I don't know why Wheel of Names does that, but all the names are represented here. I did double check, okay? If you see names that are doubled up, it's because they bought more than one ticket, okay? So we're going to spin here. Good luck, everyone. This is for a Banu Merchantman, courtesy of our good buddy GearCon in chat. GearCon, everyone give him an 07. We're going to spin in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go, everybody. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Here we go, here we go, here we go. Nicodemus with the, I don't know why that just happened. Okay, let's close that. Nicodemus with the win. Okay, we'll send out the email to Nicodemus. That will go out. They will have 7 days to get back to us. Please remember, all winners of all raffles will have to wait about 7 days to get your ships in your hangar. We do that for security purposes. Congratulations, Nicodemus. Now, if Nicodemus, for some reason, does not respond to the email, okay, if he doesn't, then we will do a redraw, okay, with a new winner. But I have a feeling he's going to respond. I do have a feeling he's going to respond. So congratulations. That's amazing. I don't know if he's watching the stream right now. Is he? I don't know. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. Okay, next we're going to do our giveaway. Okay, we got to do our giveaway. That's the next big thing. So for that, I got to get a few things ready here. Bear with me, everybody. Let me pull up the random YouTube comment picker. Let's go ahead and pull that bad boy up. And we need to get stream elements on over. I will share my screen in just a second. How do we do the random YouTube comment? It's very easy. I'm going to switch over here. We got the video in question here that you were all leaving comments on. Please share my referral link. I do appreciate it. We're going to go into the advanced options and we're going to go to the after date. Okay, we're going to put in today's date, April 22nd, and we're going to put the stream start time, which was 6 p.m. tonight. Okay, 6 p.m. And it's going to pull any comments from after that time. Okay, so essentially whenever we were looking for comments for the giveaway. Okay, so have that over on Stream Elements. Obviously, tickets have been purchased. We have 2,139 tickets purchased. That's crazy. So here we go, everyone. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm going to put you both in the random wheel of names, by the way. Okay, and you do have to contact me on Discord, StarJump_Grim. Okay, StarJump_Grim. Here we go. I'm going to pick a random YouTube comment in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. The shark is hunting. The window will pop up annoyingly. And the winner is Andrew G639. Congratulations, Andrew. You are a semifinalist. Going to put your name in the random wheel of names there. Congratulations. And now we're going to go over to Stream Elements. We're going to close the giveaway in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Giveaway is closed. We're going to draw a winner. And we're going to scroll down. Rufus. We know Rufus. Rufus, congratulations. You are a semifinalist. Putting you in the random wheel of names. There you go. We're going to take both of you and we're going to duplicate you on out. Make it a little bit more interesting. I do not know why there's these empty spots in the wheel. If it lands on one of those, we will respin. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. All right, here we go. We're going to spin. Again, whoever the winner is will win the high sec bundle. You need to contact me on Discord, StarJump_Grim. Okay, spinning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck. Good luck. Who's it going to be? It's Rufus EU. Rufus EU with the high sec bundle. Rufus, congratulations. I don't know if you're still in chat. Maybe you are. Did I miss your name? I'm not sure. Congratulations, though. Thank you very much. Everyone, we had a great turnout tonight. It was a really great turnout. We've raised a ton of money for kids. I can't thank you enough. Big shout out to GearCon for the raffles. We're going to look for someone to raid here, but Art, what do you got to say to everyone while I'm looking for the raid target?
I have a question for you. What's our discussion for Sunday? Do we have one yet?
Sunday. Do we have one?
Do we have?
I don't know if we have one. We will get one. We need to. Yeah, we'll get one. But here's the thing: we do
You
know
make
we're
my
getting.
job hard.
We do know we're getting another Evo build, possibly tomorrow. So we could have some more leaks to talk about. Rabbit07 says Kit Bash. Maybe it is Kit Bash time. Maybe it is Kit Bash time. You know, it's been a little while since we've done kit bashing. Maybe we can do some kit bashing. Rabbit, I like it. I like it. Keep It Secret says you broke 500 between both streams. That's awesome. I appreciate it. We had a lot of people from Loken's streams stay and hang out with us. Do appreciate that. Love Loken's community. Loken is an awesome dude. So thank you for hanging out. If you haven't followed the channel, please do so, everyone. I appreciate the subscribes. I appreciate the follows. I appreciate the donations. I do hope you will continue to hang out with us moving forward. Very close to our $25,000 milestone. That's going to be a big one, everyone. That's going to be a big one. Tonight, we are going to raid. I do have who we're going to raid. We're going to send it over to you. Someone who was at the St. Jude Play Live thing. We're going to send it over to, stand by, everyone. We're going to raid Smashly, playing a little Star Citizen. Going to send you over there. Make sure you show a little Star Jump love. Hipita says, when do you usually stream? Usually stream on Wednesday nights and Sunday nights. I will, as we get to major events like Defense Con and stuff, start doing more streams during the week to react to the latest news. Hipita, but usually it's Wednesday nights and Sunday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, somewhere around there. If you go to the StarJump Discord or go to StarJump.org on Twitter, I usually post schedules and stuff. You can find our schedule on the Twitch channel here. You can find upcoming shows on the YouTube live schedule. So you can see I usually try to get the shows scheduled a week in advance. So thank you for asking. All right, everybody. Gonna send you over to Smashly. Make sure you show a little Star Jump love. I do appreciate it. Make sure you do something kind for a stranger. I do appreciate you. I love you all. Thanks for continuing to support the show in a major way. You're all amazing. We're kicking ass for kids and kids at battling cancer. So thank you very much, everyone. Sending you over to Smashly now on the Twitch side. Good luck. Salute to you. Raid out. And YouTube, appreciate you. Thank you for hanging around. See you next time.